Ile kitu ningesema hapa leo ni kwamba tulifungua ofisi hapa Kisumu. Na kawaida tunasema chienu li chienu. Home is home. Kwa hivyo wale members wetu wote wale wako huko nje, Nairobi, Kisumu, Mombasa na kadhalika, dunia nzima, tafadhali ambia ma-aunties wa join Kimisitu Sacco. Tuko na ofisi hapa Kisumu. Let's make use of that office so that we get finances that we can use to improve our life. Kimisitu is your partner to prosperity. So if you are a member of Kimisitu and you can't prosper, then it leaves us worried as directors. So that is, hiyo ndio ujumbe langu kwenu. Pokea hiyo, uendelee nazo, na waambie ma-aunties wa join Kimisitu. Sijasema uncles, nimesema aunties. Sijui uncles wanaendanga wapi. Asanteni sana.
Hamjambo. Hamjambo tena. Kwa majina naitwa Faith Munyasi. Nimefurahia sana kukua hapa Kisumu. First of all, ningependa kuwashukuru sana as people from Kisumu, Kimisitu region, because mimi singekuwa director without your vote. So I really want to thank you. This is my first year as a board of directors, Kimisitu Sacco, and this day will not have completed without expressing my gratitude to you guys. So thank you so much. Apart from that, I serve in the credit committee, and I also chair the ICT committee. One word, I think this is the second word, because the first one was to thank members for voting for me. Thank you. Sorry, Chair. I had to say two things. The second point, let us make use of our office here in Kisumu. Let us try and reach out to more organizations in Kisumu, more members. Pali uko, unaambia mtu, there's Kimisitu, yeah? Let us try and make, invite more members in Kimisitu so that we build our membership around this region. Apart from that, I think tunajua we have the application, Kimisitu application. Let us try and also make use of our products and our services using our applications, using our softwares that we keep launching. Kama saizi, you know Bossa products you can use, you can apply on the application. You are aware, yeah? Yes, so let us continue making use of our online application. Let us continue making use of our technology that we keep introducing in the Sacco. Thank you so much.
Good morning once again, members. My name is Eunice Mora Momanyi. I serve as a secretary in the supervisory committee, and I'm happy to see you. One word for me is as a board, we are here to serve you, and we are happy to do so. We request you to uptake the product.
Let's give directors a big clap as they go sit down. Thank you so much. And make sure today you make use of directors here. As you can see, we are in the board, we are a team of 9. We also have supervisory 3. Last week we had a member education in Mombasa, and we had the other half going to Mombasa also to interact with the members there. I can tell you it was good. How many were able to watch it on Facebook last week? Okay, even today we are on Facebook. But make sure you make good use of this directors. Ask them all the questions you may have about the Sacco product. Yale maswali naonanga kwa WhatsApp. Leo, once or sure that we are responding to your needs. So up to there, I just want to invite CEO also to introduce the staff who are here. Before then, we go on with the program.
to the Sacco chairman, Mr. Chris Agunga, to the board of directors, the chief officer, trade and cooperatives, Kisumu County, Mr. Philip Akama, our guest speaker today, Dr. Felix Lutzer, the staff present, all our esteemed members, good morning. Welcome again to our member education. We expect that we'll learn today and we'll be full house. At this point, I'll do introductions. I think I want to welcome the team to come in front because we're running out of time so that we can... So I know the members out there.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning. God is good and all the time. Yes. Wow. We give him thanks for giving us this opportunity to come and be with you today so that you can be able to learn more about our...
Kisumu, good morning. My name is Purity Kemathi and I'm the FOSA manager.
Hamjamboni wanachama. Hamjambo. Asanteni sana. Kwa majina naitwa Geoffrey Makoha. Mimi ndio internal audit manager. Asante.
Good morning, members. Good morning. Good morning. Mwenye kofia pale nyuma, good morning. My name is Henry Abea, the ICT manager.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning once more. My name is Morris Andande. I work in marketing. Thank you.
Thank you, team. We also have a team out there. We have Tobias Opany, who is our senior procurement officer out there. We have Mercy Aloch in marketing. We have David Juma in marketing. We also have a team that is actually working with you here in the Western region. We have Edward, we have Walter Olela, and we also have Edwin Dollar. So thank you and welcome once again to the Education Day. Allow me to take this back to the MC.
Thanks so much, CEO. I want to run you through the program of today. Hii microphone nahitaji. Yes, I want to run you through the program. I hope you're able to see. We have already done the opening prayer, remarks from myself, introductions we have closed. Then we'll have remarks from the CEO, then the chairperson, and then we'll have remarks from the chief officer in Kisumu County, that is Mr. Philip Akama. And then we'll have our guest speaker, step on board, Dr. Lutzer Felix. I hope I've pronounced this well. Then we'll have presentations from credit manager, Catherine Othiambo on Sacco products and services. And then we'll have our ICT manager, now that we, the digital space and platforms taking center stage, we need you to know the progress that we're making in Kimisitu and how we can be able to patronize that so that we can be able to remain hand with technology. Then we'll have a presentation from KICL, and then we'll have a 5 minutes presentation from Bliss Medical. They are outside, they have pitched a tent outside there. So for today, your health has been well taken care of. We have a free medical investigations. So as we progress, tukimaliza pale mwisho kabisa, please pass by the tent. You get to know some of your medical parameters and some investigations from Bliss Medical. So we'll invite them after KICL, and then from there we are going to have a QA questions and answers. We'll have a panel of experts sit here so that you can be able to have a one-on-one conversation. Those hard questions that probably you have, or clarifications, suggestions, we want to hear them so that when we go back, we'll have an opportunity to unpack them and give a feedback back to you in terms of the services, state-of-art services that you'd wish to experience from our Sacco. And then we'll close the meeting at that point. So I want to welcome the CEO to make a presentation so that our guests as well can be able to understand the journey that we have walked as Kimisitu. So you can clap for him. Karibu sana CEO.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Allow me, members, to take you through. I'll take you through a short presentation. We'll basically looking at overview of the Kimisitu journey, and also looking at where we are headed to as Kimisitu. So just to walk you through where we started, we came into being in 1985. And from 1985, the first AGM was in 1995. That is 10 years later. So again, we started on Muranga Road. That's around Ngara. After that, we moved our offices. We were given a small office at ICRAF. We all know that ICRAF is where we began with the membership. We outgrew ICRAF. Then we went to Tumizi House, where we rented our offices. From there, we bought a property at Woodlands Road, where we were up to the year 2020. And again, after that, we also grew and moved to offices at AEA Plaza. So at AEA Plaza, we bought 1.5 floors. So we have 1 full floor. And also we have 1 wing of the ground floor. That is where our FOSA offices are. So I want to just to take you through the 15 years journey and just to understand where we are actually coming from. There are parameters here that we have, and these parameters also show how we've been growing. So if you look at this, you'll realize that in the year 2008, the revenues that we generated was 70 million. So just mark the word 70 million. This is 15 years ago. And then moving into 2012, we jumped from 70 million to 218 million. From there, again, that is about 3 times from the Kimisitu Insurance Agency. That is basically taking as a Sacco, we give loans to our members. And again, we have collateral items that we have, including the guarantors, including the collateral security that we also give out. So again, we're having a challenge in terms of members honoring their obligations. We understand there was an issue when COVID came in, but again, we want to just urge members just to ensure that they honor their obligations as a member, and that will actually make us move. So we also look at it in terms of the shift of the Sacco model. Initially or traditionally, the Sacco basically was there to ensure that members are able to get loans at a very affordable interest. So now the shift that is coming in is that the Sacco is an investment vehicle. And of course, as an investor, the demand for a higher interest on deposits is actually there. But then again, in terms of the Sacco model, you'll realize that the owner of the Sacco is the member. You realize the depositor is the member. You realize that the loanee is the member. So basically, it's kind of an internal business. And of course, members will actually demand higher interest on deposit. What will the Sacco do? Because again, you realize that you are our customers. The Sacco will actually now, it'll be very difficult to actually balance affordable credit. That was the initial model to actually what we actually have now. We have instances where we went somewhere and we realized that they are giving their loans. It's not in this country. It's a member organization, so they're giving loans at 5% and they're giving interest on deposit at 3%. So again, it's internal, what do we give priority as members. So I think that changing model, and then of course the changing consumer demands every day, and of course we had different generations. We have the Generation Z, we have the millennials, we have everyone in, provided we are over 18, and we even also have the little angels. So you'll realize that we have different groups and the needs are quite different. So again, also with coming up with technology, there's so many things. So again, in terms of the concentration risk, that means basically we over close to 400 NGOs who are our members. And basically what we've done to actually be able to mitigate this is that we have opened up. We have opened up membership to businesses, to chairmans, to other organizations that actually can come in. We realized what happened during stadium. Now we have an AGM that runs for 7 or 6 hours. So you can imagine how many people will actually be able to actually air their views and actually have a constructive discussion during that meeting. So this model, we actually are asking members to, we look at it, again we have a discussion around it. If we had, for example, a delegate system, we will have, say, members in the Western region having a number of delegates that can deeply discuss issues that are actually affecting the Western region, and these issues are then taken now to the annual delegate meeting for discussion and make sure that we move on. Then we have actually had mentioned that we came into regulation in 2020, and there are actually ratios that are required by the regulator. We have honored the ratios. We have all the ratios, save for one, which is institutional capital. And institutional capital basically touches on the surplus that we actually have. So it's a very difficult balancing act. We were at 5.3% last year. The regulator requires 8%. So the balancing act, we require close to 350 million for us to actually be able to hit the 8%. What that means is that we actually have to hit into what we need to share with the members, that is income, to actually be able to build that institutional capital. So again, we're working in terms of the balancing the two, so that again, we're able to give the returns to our members. And again, at the same time, we actually be able to honor our obligation, or we able to actually be able to comply with the regulator, because again, institutional capital sets a very strong foundation for the Sacco. Now, lastly, for the future, one is that our strategic plan is ending 2021-2023 is ending this year, and we have started a process of actually coming up with a new strategic plan. And of course, here we'll actually engage the members, have the views of the members, how we can actually move the direction that they want the Sacco to go in the next 3 years. So I think we'll actually have, because this is, you are owners of the enterprise, you are the owners of the Sacco, so it's actually be very important that we actually participate in this process to actually determine how we want to move. I've talked about the system of governance, what we are currently doing, and I think what we need to discuss moving forward. So we again want to engage members more so that we be able to move together and be able to grow the organization together. Customer service, again, looking into the future, is something that we've actually putting a lot of effort to ensure that our customers are happy and our customers have a good experience with us. Lastly is the brand ambassadors. Kimisitu is 38 years old. I guess that, the founder members here, we may not get a founder member for Kimisitu in this room. But again, what you can appreciate is what they did to actually bequeath this to us as members. So again, for us, we actually need to move it to the next level, and the next generation that is actually coming behind us get a better Kimisitu that they have. So that means that we need to be brand ambassadors of Kimisitu. We've brought in initiative also where we've actually requested that this year, at least each member bring us one member. We're actually having a one-member campaign, so that at least each member bring us one member, and the target was if you are 10,000 and each member brings a member in this year, just one member, then we'll actually be getting to 20,000 members. And that will actually tell you about what will happen to the growth that we actually showed from the beginning. So again, in terms of the member campaign, we are actually also running some raffle, and we are giving a token of appreciation. It's not a payment, it's a token of appreciation that we are actually giving members to actually supporting the Sacco. And then again, we also having the raffles. We are doing the first raffles next week. Again, the grand draw will be one to take at least 2 members to Dubai, and this will happen in December. And again, in terms of the raffle, it's probability. You bring 1 member, you're still in the draw. You bring 200 members, you have a higher probability of actually winning the grand ticket. So allow me to leave it at this point. You're just giving the overview of where we are and in terms of where we are actually moving. Thank you.
Yes, you can give. Ukikula fish pale inaitwa lepali, lepal. Najua Kiingereza hapa lazima nitamke vizuri, otherwise I'll be pelted with stones. Sawa sawa. So as I call the chair, I want to throw another challenge to you. You know, it's a day to challenge each other, so that even as we meet next time, we can take stock. If I were to invest here in Kisumu, I'll do bed sitters, and I'll do them differently. How I'll do them is that I'll make sure that bed sitter of mine, unajua kuna kitu tumeuziwa sana na tumekubali as Kenyans about the Nyanza region. Class. Sindio? So, for sure, the class equal. So how do my bed sitters here? I would ensure the first thing, I have an inbuilt music in that bed sitter. Then I would ensure that I have gypsum in that bed sitter. Kuna bed sitter kuna gypsum Kisumu? Yes, I'll do that. Then I'll ensure that the cooker, mtu akuji kupika na gas ama whatever, inbuilt cooker. Then 4 burners na moja ya steam hapo. And then I'll do something else. I would ensure that that bed sitter has the rooftop, it's a flat roof, such that in case of maandamano, anakanyanga pale juu, anachungulia. So I want to welcome the chair so that he can continue with his remarks.
That's it. To the board of directors, Kimisitu staff, members, good morning once again. Good morning. I'm happy I can see now the room is getting filled. I know at a time is coming, it's going to be filled. Mine is going to be very short. When CEO was actually presenting about the Kimisitu journey, I was asking myself, how many of us here were born by the year 1985? 1985, when Kimisitu was formed. How many were born by then? Okay. I can see just a quarter of this room were born by then. It means there's something. That thing is what we really need to think about. Like the CEO has said, those who sat down and formed Kimisitu Sacco had a vision. If you heard Peter's story about the mom and the dad, Peter has a story to tell the mom and the dad, to tell about the mom and the dad. Right now we are making a story to tell to our grandchildren. The people who formed Kimisitu, actually, we are today telling their story. and I believe Kimisitu is there. It will be there, and we will overgrow. We'll retire and just leave Kimisitu there. So, as the board of directors, one of the things I want to do is to assure you that we are holding on to that vision. You gave us the opportunity to hold on it, and we are actually holding on to it, so that in 20 years, your child can say a story about you and Kimisitu Sacco. I will talk about a few things. One, the principles of cooperative are actually 7. And out of the 7 principles of cooperative, I want just focus on 2. Very important ones. The first one is what we are doing today. Principle number 5, education, training, and information. Most of us actually may not understand the importance of this. But having a cooperative without that principle is like building a house with a wrong ratio of the mortar. It is because us members really need to be enlightened. We really need to make a story. We really need to know how best we can use the cooperative that we are in. How much or how well do we patronize the products of our Sacco? So that is why we are here today to learn about Kimisitu, to learn about the products, to learn about how we can grow in this Kimisitu. So make sure that you are able to have enough information to help you move from point X to point Y. A lot is happening. Right now I know there are so many people, so many groups doing memoranda, making noise about the finance bill. But there is something that we can do. With that finance bill, we only need Kimisitu to be our financial provider of choice. So as we sit here today to learn, let's make sure that we are able to learn about Kimisitu, about the Sacco products, about how best can we, how do you expect to grow? And this thing is actually a symbiotic relationship. Let the Sacco grow you as you grow the Sacco. And I can tell you that growth of 70 million, link it to the members. When CEO was presenting here actually in 2008, we were 2,800 members. As we speak, we are about 10,000. So, you'll see that these things are linked. We are paying our loans so that we grow and the Kimisitu also grows. To grow, you don't need to go far. Where do you go? Your neighbor. Your neighbor anajua. Na ukichukua loan lazima umwambie hii loan yangu nataka kuweka kuku. Ukiweka kuku lazima atajua uliweka ukienda kukula atakuja kukuliza and tell you for sure. A good percentage of us sitting in this room have suffered because of this specific principle. However, it's a very good principle. We only need to find the right way, get the right network, get the right cooperators whom we can cooperate with. So, how are we going to bring in those networks, those people around us whom we will engage, whom we will cooperate with when we want to patronize the Sacco products? I will urge all members today that you need to make your network. Identify those cooperators whom you know you can trust, whom you know you believe in, whom you know you can build each other, hold each other's hand, and enjoy the Sacco products. Na wale wenye they have been held hands. It's also important for us to hold on to our responsibility. nalipa. And then you pay your loan and you continue building each other. It's very important for me to stress on those 3 principles. However, there are all 7 principles which all applies to us and they link to each other. So as we sit here today and listen to the education, the information about the Sacco, we also need to reflect about all other principles. We need to reflect, make a target, have a mission. What do you want to achieve as a member of Kimisitu? If we were to say our stories here, we have so many stories. It's only that we cannot tell the stories. Directors have talked about the Kisumu office. And members, I want to tell you one thing. For the board to decide to bring potential in Kisumu. And that is the potential we want to take advantage of. We need to be heard. I was talking to the chief officer here. And do you know what he told me? He will tell you when he will be here to make his remarks. We are a giant who are sleeping. We have a lot of opportunities. There are several circles who are around here, but they cannot be compared to what Kimisitu is, what we are offering, the support we are giving out. And that is the opportunity we have. And now that we have an office, members, it is our time to explode. We have to make sure that we use this opportunity. Ili tukipita mahali, when you have this bag today, when you'll be walking back home, everybody should be asking you about this Kimisitu. And I believe we have the power. As one member, as you, an individual member, we have all the power to do that. So as we leave this room today, as we reflect when we are learning, just scan around you and think about who do you want to bring in to join us as a Sacco. Are you going to be the right ambassador who is going to build or to break? Do you want one day to sit somewhere and say that Chris, I'm the one who introduced Chris to the Sacco, and just see what Chris has done. Chris has the bed sitters with the what the vice chair was describing here, courtesy of Kimisitu. See, you will be proud if you actually introduced me to the Sacco, and you can see I'm growing. You will be proud of that. So I just want to reiterate that you as our members, you are our first ambassadors. You are our key ambassadors. And you have to help us move from point X. We have to grow together. We have to make sure that as a Sacco, we are stable enough and we are growing together financially. Something I also want to talk about is the environment, and the environment in which we are operating now. It's very fragile, and there are so many things that are happening. Just recently there is the Shakahola. By the way, I was so surprised in the Sakahola thing. Most of the people who are being mentioned there were actually they're either from Western or... Why? Why is it so? They are from Seme. They are actually in Malindi looking for their relatives who went to Shakahola. We know there is the issue about the new finance bill. There are so many things that are coming up. The environment in which we are operating is very fragile. Things are changing every day. But then, we have to make sure that we have something to hold on. So, I want just to summarize that by telling us members I'm just being informed that one of the founder members has tafadhali amka tu salimie members. We were asking about those who were born before this Sacco was formed. When we have
labor movement, you know, COTU is affiliated to the American Trade Union. And it was a time like this 40 years ago, after the coup. I think I heard you say that times are difficult. It was the same. We'd come from a coup, 1982, and at this time, I think our Baba was in detention, Anyang was in Mexico in exile, Orengo was in Tanzania, and the person who met me, because he died on mission, because this was something happening throughout Africa. It's just as it's happening now. And it's a time when the trade union is the one that ran this country. They're the ones who brought up the economy. And it was not the politicians beating sufurias and drums. It is unfortunate that this has been happening, and the African American labor movement head was just coming in this month. So all this drama has happened without that. And I believe you've seen the trade union take place now and give direction to the workers, including Kimisitu, that politics and development are two separate things. And we have to work together to readjust the economy of this country, or even people taking loans will not be able to pay. And that is what brought about this college. The Americans built it here in honor, because he died on their missions. And that's why this college was put in Kisumu and not in Nairobi. So when I had to go and pick up my father's body in Lesotho, ICRAF covers insurance, education, housing, but for your spouse and your 4 children, one spouse and 4 children. And this is a situation during apartheid time when he's died and I'm going to pick up the body in South Africa. Apartheid, your passport is stamped, no entry into South Africa to start with. And the problem with the exchange rate was like now. But luckily, working for ICRAF, I could access foreign exchange, and the Americans could pay the bill. So I got my passport like in 2 hours. That worked. Then I was going, but then I'm coming back to a funeral. The Luo funeral, that is expensive. And the expectations that the Americans were going to give big money, you know? And what were my staff going to, my fellow workers, even their little contribution could not afford my ticket. And that's when we started thinking, when I came back, the cooperative representative on COTU for the African American labor movement had died. And that's where cooperative came into mind. In 84, we started informally. 85, it became official and registered. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Margaret. You know, I'm also learning today. You see? Who knew? But now I know today. So members, I want to stop there because this is our day to learn. But hiyo ndio kitu tumelani ya kwanza. Yes. So allow me to invite the Chief Officer for Cooperatives, Kisumu County, Mr. Kama, to make a few remarks before now we go to the main presentations. Our Vice Chair is actually going to run the program. So I will also be listening here, also following very closely, but we are here to answer your questions. So karibu Mr. Kama.
To our chair and the board of directors, the facilitator, the staff, and the founder members, and even the current members. Hamjambo. Hamjambo. Kwanza kwanza kabisa niko na furaha sana kuja kwa mkutano yenu. Kimisitu, since they came to Kisumu, they have been very dear to the government of Kisumu County. I recall when they were to launch, they invited us. And even when I'm here, all the protocol, the CEC, the chief officer, the directors, they are all aware that this is happening and it is me to represent them. Tuko pamoja. That is a good start because the ministry is there to give guidance. The ministry is there to see you grow. Now, in Kisumu, as the chairs said, it is true. The movement of cooperative is not all that vibrant. And the main reason I can't tell, kuna shetani ilifanyika somewhere. And you find them have bad history. So most cooperative societies, if you look at how the trends on how they've been surviving, you realize they are bad, the negative past. This has really made membership, the movement, not vibrant in Kisumu. And that's why I was telling the chair that you have come at the right time. Members, people are there who can become members. Just before, about 4 years ago, we have registered the border cooperative societies, but they are there during elections, I don't know. They are formed with the political bigwigs, and therefore they become so active during elections, and then thereafter, again they submerge. And this has happened all through, since devolution. And I'm talking about 35,000 border riders. Their cooperatives are not functional. The registered one as Kisumu County Border Union, which was expected to facilitate the registration of the smaller ones, but that never worked. And even the small ones which were registered, which are almost 20, it's very good membership. I remember there's one, Milimani Border, they had 2,000 members. We have several. We have the Kisumu Railways, quite a number, over 2,000 again. So the membership were there. But now, what was lacking is the management, the stability. And that's why I'm saying, with Kimisitu, with this background, thank our CEO for presenting that. With this very much progressive, positive progress you have made, you have come at the right place, and there's potentiality of recruiting more members. We'll guide them, because still they come to our office for guidance, the split-ups and all that. If we work to you, we see you said they are now open for the business people. That will actually capture. We can do it. Other cooperative societies, the giant ones, have tried to come, but we have not seen them sustain the movement for long. They came very vibrant, promising, but after a short time, you find them again dwindling and not really matching the expectations. This coupled issues has really made the movement now very ripe for any stable movement, cooperative like Kimisitu. So with the assurance for the management and the staff, we'll work together so that members can get into Kimisitu and they get the right services. Apart from that, members, today is Members Education Day. And you realize the management are only 9, plus the supervisory, they are few. And the membership is over 9,000. Did you see that? When we want to grow, it is not to be left to the management and the staff. Dear members, it is your role to recruit others, talk well about Kimisitu, bring them into the fold so that we can increase our membership. The bigger the number, the better the performance. Tuko pamoja. And with that, you'll be solving issues which still are with our members. You know what is vibrant here is now the chamas. But really chamas, they collect the amounts, and come December, again they eat it all and start afresh. I don't know whether it is this side alone. But that is a trend, okay? So if we can have a cooperative setup where they save and get the services, that will be good. So it is you to be an ambassador. Tell your neighbor, be an ambassador of Kimisitu. Tuko pamoja. Number 2, members, it is you to patronize this cooperative society. Why are you still going to Mshwari while we are digital? See, I hope we are there, we have that. Why are you still going to Tala? Why are you still going to the bank while we are digital? You can get the services here. I was talking to another group the other day, and I told them, in the bank, you are only good when you are coming in. They treat you like a king. You are the depositor. They treat you like a king when you are coming in. But when they have made the profits, now they don't remember you. They take it alone. You'll only hear on the TV posting big things. Equity Bank has made this, what has made this. Lakini, is there a day they have asked you to come and kule kidogo dividends? The audits, the whole of what they have made as surplus is given back to you as dividend. Is given back to you as interest on deposits. Kazi yako sasa, wachana hizo zingine. I was really mad with the one of the cooperatives, the national one. I think that was Sacco or something. There are almost 7,000 members, but only 288 and through FOSA. So we went through the calculation. Your salary, you go there, will go there, and they deduct 330 times about 6,000 per month, times 12. So that is the dividend you're denying these guys and taking to the bank. Members, it is you to patronize these services, the products, so that we can declare and move on together with bigger surplus made at the end of the year. Finally, I have a good book that was the Bible, where they were talking about the ants, which are small creatures, but they have a future plan by saving. Sawa sawa. In fact, they call it a little creature, but thinks ahead. Now you and me who are big creatures, what inheritance are you going to leave? I liked one of the directors said he would be in Kimisitu and leave inheritance to the children. Uliza jirani, wewe utawachia watoto nini? All right? Iliyopita hiyo hatuwezi, but we can start today to prepare for the future. Today we can model the future the way we want, and you are advised, build your savings, save, treat that what you get across your hand, that what passes through your hands, treat it as seed money, by thinking that what part of this should I invest through savings? Sawa sawa. Treat the money you get as seed money. Can you tell your neighbor that? Treat the money you get as seed money. What portion of it do you want to invest so that it grows and comes back with investment, with profit? With much ado, I know today we have a facilitator. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity, and I'll be part of you as we move on. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. No, now we are very safe. Huh? Serikali iko hapa. So we don't need to worry about anything. And very good remarks. Kama yeye sio member. Kama yeye sio member. Aya, asante sana. So I'm taking this back to Director Peter.
Thanks so much. Hiya, CEC, Mr. Philip Akam.
So I want to appreciate our CEC. My name is Justus in a special way. We'll do the Obama way. So you'll clap continuously until I say stop, okay? 1, 2, 3.
Talk of class. Thanks so much. We appreciate for those remarks. I've seen my father in him. I've seen my father in him. Eloquency, vibrancy, focus, and such. So as you look for him, Chair, I want to look for his children, to see whether they have tapped something as I have tapped. So I want us to transition to the next item. As the CC has said that we have a guest speaker for today. You know, saa zingine ni vizuri to challenge ourselves, even the way of thinking and the way we approach things. You know, sometimes in our own cocoons, I saw someone saying that the greatest enemy of ourselves is that even when we are alone, we cannot keep calm, we cannot keep quiet. Umefungua peke yako kwa nyumba, but still you find yourself, you can't keep calm. Because we have aspirations and such, even our ways of thinking is different. So, I want to have some session whereby we'll be taken through a presentation by our guest speaker. He is called Dr. Felix Lutza. I hope I've pronounced. He is a financial trainer, right? one succeeded, actually two, actually three, right? One of them being Kimisitu, because I'm an investor. And then he is well knowledgeable about strategy, policies, and capacity building a specialist. Actually, he is a lead trainer with one of the biggest organizations in the country. So, he will be able to pick up from there. I'll be able to, introduce himself further. But without much ado, the Obama style. Start clapping for him.
For an hour. Are you allowing me for that? And the best way I do that is I begin my sessions with an exam. I saw books being issued. I see everyone has a pen. So that is how we want to begin. I want you to tell your neighbor, neighbor. Tell your neighbor, neighbor, pick up and write 1 up to 4 vertically. Have you written that? Very well. Check for me if your neighbor has written 1 up to 4 like this or like this. How has your neighbor written? I'm driving and somebody tells me take left. I always have to raise my hand and confirm left, right, then I take. Directions are very, very complicated. How many neighbors have written it 1 up to 4 like this? Just carry up your hand if your neighbor has written it like this. Very well, thank you. How many have written it like this? 1, 2, 3, 4, like this, just in one line. And there is that neighbor there. Thank you. My brother, how are you? You can stand. The one at the end, yes. The two of you, yes. Yeah. How are you? What's your name? And your name, my brother? All of you. Clap for them. Obama style. Thank you. Thank you. The right way is like this. So it's an exam. The 3 rules for this exam. 1, it's my exam. So the answers that I'll give are the right answers. That's rule number 1. Rule number 2, don't write questions, just write answers. Don't write questions, just write answers. And rule number 3, is of essence. I'll be moving very fast. Just write what comes to your mind. The first thing that comes to your mind. Are we together? Are we set to begin? Question 1. A Sacco has 72 leaders. Sacco has 72 leaders. All but 12 have paid their contributions. All but 12 have paid their contributions. How many leaders have not paid their contributions? How many leaders have not paid their contribution? A Sacco, 72 leaders, all but 12 have paid their contributions. How many leaders have not paid their contributions? Can I go to question 2? Very well. Question 2. Atien's father has 5 daughters. Atien's father has 5 daughters. Chacha, Chichi, Chocho. What's the name of the 5th daughter? What's the name of the 5th daughter? Can I go to question 3? Atieno's father has 5 daughters. Chacha, Cheche, Chichi, Chocho. What's the name of the 5th daughter? What's the name of the 5th daughter? Are you there? And the last question. How many animals of each species did Moses take into the ark? How many animals of each species did Moses take into the ark? How many animals of each species did Moses take into the ark? Which question do you want me to repeat? You are good. Thank you. Make sure you don't leave a blank space. I take it very personally. in the book. Have we done that? Number 3. What was question number? How many animals of each species? Are you sure? Members, you know you want to confuse the lecturer. So he has to go and refer to the notes before he comes. Now, question 1 is, a Sacco has 72 leaders. Sindio? Question 2 is Atieno's father. Question 3 is, how many animals of each species? So I've given you how many questions? How many numbers did you write? So you question number 4. So you've already exchanged. So let's mark those ones in our next education training. I'll give you number 4 up to 8, okay? So the 3 questions, thank you. So ma'am, now you can exchange comfortable. Sindio? Yes, Auntie. You know you are a very good mother. I want you to clap for her. Clap for her, Obama style. Okay, thank you. She helped me to know. Now, we want to mark the first question. A Sacco has 72 leaders. All but 12 have paid their shares. How many leaders have not paid their contributions? How many have written 60? If your neighbor, remember it's not your book, so hakuna kuogopa. You just raise up your hand and I count. 60. Thank you. Put down your hands. How many have written 12? 12. 12. 12. Very well. Is there any other answer? None. None. How many have written none? Is there any other answer? Thank you. The right answer to that question is 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. In English, the word but is used to show exemption. The word but is used to show exemption. Are you together? So the answer is 12. Yes. Question 2? Yes. 12. Thank you. The question is, a Sacco has 72 leaders. All but 12. All but. Many have written choo-choo. Choo-choo. Raise up your hand if your neighbor has written choo-choo. Yes. A, E, O, U. Very well. What are the other answers that you have? Atieno. You have Atieno. Okay, Atieno Chuchu. All right, no problem, no problem, no problem. No problem. Yesterday, chairman, I was training a certain Sacco in Malaba. I think in that area, the name I was using was Toto. So I think in that area, Toto is a name for a man. So when I told them the answer is Toto, they said, no, Toto is a name for a man. Then Chacha, Cheche, Chichi, and Chocho are ladies. We really had to argue on that. So I hope that's why I had to change to Atieno. See, Atieno is a lady's name here. Thank you. So the answer to that question is Atieno. 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 Atieno's father has 5 daughters. Chacha, Cheche, Chichi, Chocho, and Atieno. Chacha, Cheche, Chichi, Chocho, and Atieno. Then the last question. How many animals of each species did Moses take into the ark? How many have written 2? 2. Yes. Thank you. Male and female. How many have written male and female? Male and female. Thank you. The answer to that question is none. Who took animals to the ark? Noah. 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 So put it out of 3 and kindly return the book to the owner. We will do ranking in the next class. I just want to pick 2 lessons that you pick from that exercise. Thank you. What lesson have you picked from that exercise? Then I have to, up to the end of the session. That's good. The truth is that I request for your attention because the things I'm going to share with you, even myself, I'll be learning. And I will not be here tomorrow. I'm here today. There is no guarantee that we will meet again, by the way. Even if you invited me back, maybe next time I may be engaged. God has helped us today to meet. You will not meet me teach you what I'm going to teach you today again in the very near future. You are here, confined. If you take all your time on your phone or arguing with your whatever on phone or neighbors, the person who will lose is you. Because me, I'll finish, then they'll give a vote of thought about you as a person. Then another lesson that you've picked from this exercise? I may have picked a lesson here that the leaders of the Sacco should pay their contributions first before they begin even pressurizing the members to pay. That was question number 1. Ama mukuona? Ama umeogopa kusema madam na ulisikia tu hiyo swali. That is the lesson I have picked. Any other lesson that you've picked? From the back. A very good friend of mine is wearing a very nice godfather. I'll make sure I go there and ask him a question so that he answers while standing. Then you see his very nice godfather he's wearing. Or you want to answer? Yeah, I know you are still thinking. Continue thinking. I'll come. Any other? Yes, ma'am.
Hello, Kimisitu. On my side, my names are Mabel Isombi Mukabwa. On my side, I have learned something. If you get anything, you have to listen. You have to read it very carefully and understanding first before you answer that question.
Yes. And I'll be talking about that in my presentation on number 3, issues of guarantorship. You know, the chair said that one of his greatest fear is the hurdle of guarantors. And the truth is that many people sign guarantorship forms in offices at tea break. You know why? On a promise of escort for tea. You know, una chai, uko na chai hiyo siku, lakini hauna escort. Sasa mtu anakuambia, nitakununulia escort kesho, nisainie form. Then you, of course you sign in good faith. Not knowing that by signing a guarantor form, what you are saying is that if you don't pay this 3 million, I will pay for you 3 million. That is what guarantorship means, by the way. You get what I'm talking about? Yes, that it is important for us to understand details so that we don't come to complain later. Hapo tumeelewana vizuri? Ladies and gentlemen, there are very many lessons you have picked from that exercise, I know. Go home and implement them. Today, we are talking about your role in helping the Sacco to do what? To grow. Tell your neighbor, neighbor, my role in helping our Sacco to grow. So I have mapped all these roles into 3 things. The first role is a leadership and governance role. The second role is a membership mobilization role. And the last role is a effective financial management role. By the end of this class, it is in my expectation that 1, you should be able to know how to bring members to this Sacco. If I leave without helping you how to do that, I will not have achieved my first objective. 2, you should also then be able to know the principles of good governance in this Sacco and how we can use that to grow our profits and grow eventually. I will also mention briefly on the gains of having a delegate vis-a-vis a General Assembly assisting, but most importantly, the best practices that can lead to us to grow this Sacco. And I will not finish before I admonish you on how to get money to save so that you grow your savings. If you know all those things by the end of this Sacco, then this training, then you'll be able to grow your Sacco. So the first thing is leadership and governance. I want you to tell your neighbor, it is my role to ensure that I support the leadership to grow my Sacco. The first thing I always tell people when I'm doing these trainings is a Sacco is equals to membership plus savings. A Sacco is equals to membership plus savings. You can sit down and think of the best strategies to help a Sacco grow. But if it doesn't rotate around membership and savings, the strategies are pure academic theories that may not be implemented. So it is the responsibility of every Sacco and every Sacco member to ensure that, one, they have trust in their leadership. The first thing that kills Saccos is lack of trust. This is not a problem of Kimisitu. It is not a problem that began yesterday. It is an ancient problem. And if you listen to our good mother giving us the history of formation of this Sacco, you will see that that is the essence of how this Sacco was formed. Nobody is eating anybody's money. People can even want to eat, by the way, because we are human beings. But there is a system that has been put in place in this country, in the Sacco management movement, that is not possible for anybody to eat anybody's money. Tell your neighbor, nobody can eat your money. We have regulating bodies. The reports that are submitted, you heard of the presentation from the CEO, the ratios. The ratios are a system check to know what is happening at the Sacco. And there are weekly reports, there are monthly reports, there are biannual reports, there are reports that are as random as send us a report by midday. You get what I'm talking about? It is important for you to know that it is human nature to always think that when somebody has your money, he has used it. Those days when banks began, people would walk in the evening after they have deposited money. In the evening, they will walk around town to confirm if that building is still there. To just confirm if their money is still there. Actually, that fear has just been defeated in the recent past. Up to today, we still even have people who have to confirm. Today, my wife was telling me that she's seen a lot of news about Equity Bank. And so she's wondering what is happening with them. I haven't been watching news this week because I've been very busy. But then I went to the internet and looked. And I saw that her fear is simply because there is a program she's doing with them and they have delayed to renew the contract. So she's associating the delay in renewing the contract to a possibility of them failing. It is human nature to always think that somebody with your money is eating it. And today I've come to tell you, even if people wanted to eat, they can't. Because there is SASRA, and SASRA cannot operate in a week without knowing what's going on with the CEO. Am I saying the truth? Aren't there even random reports that are as urgent as midday? You get what I'm talking about? Trust is very important. I tell people like this. In my village where I come from, women are very popular for when they wakikosana na their husbands, wanakimbia wanaenda kwao. So what happens is, research has proven that within 3 to 6 months, huwa wanarudi. So I was trying to interrogate women as a researcher to understand the need to come back. Is it the relationship between them and their children, or the communication they have with their husbands, or is it the environment at home? I discovered an analogy that when a woman goes to her mother's place, the first 1 to 2 months, she talks very negative things about the husband. Anaambia watu bwana yangu ni malaya, ni mjinga, hata huwa anunui chakula kwa nyumba, mimi ndio nimekuwa nafanya kila kitu. Na unajua hata ingine ni uongo. Yaani hao watu tu waone vile ni mbaya, because amekasirika. But after a month or 2, she begins missing her children or her home. And her people at home also begin looking at her as a burden. So now she begins to calm. So if you ask her about her husband, she atakwambia acha tu, hako tu. She will not say something negative, she will not say something positive. But now over time, she begins to say, if you ask her, anakwambia, hiyo ni mambo ya kawaida. Ndoa ziko tu na mashida tu. Because she's now preparing to go home. Now, the day she decides to go home, she talks to nobody. She wakes up in the morning very early, washes her clothes and hangs them at a hidden place where nobody sees. Evening, she looks for a trusted motorbike vendor to ampelekee nguo mbele na yeye anafuata na miguu, alafu anakutania huko na anaenda kama amejifunga kikoi kwa uso, mtu asijue ni yeye, na anarudi kwake. The problem is that akifika kwake na the father-in-law dies within a week or a month, the same people wa kwao are expected kukuja matanga. Huko kwetu inakuanga hivyo. Sasa wewe nataka kukuuliza ndugu yangu, wale watu wakikuja matanga wanakuja kwa nani? Wanakaa kwa nyumba ya nani? Si ni nyumba ya mzee wake. Na huyu mzee na mama, hao watu wakikuja wakiangalia kwa macho, nani anaibika? Si ni msichana? Mzee hata anajua walimwambia yeye ni malaya kweli. Hata ajui. Yeye anawasalimia na bidii, si ndio? Anawasalimia na bidii. Anawaambia nilimwachinjia kuku leo. Nyinyi ni wazuri, nitakuja kwanza kuongeza ng'ombe. Na hao wanasema, wewe hata ni ng'ombe zaidi. Kwa moyo yani. A Sacco is like a marriage institution. You must every day be in the forefront of defending its name. If you talk bad about your Sacco, you will succeed in talking, but you'll also succeed in destroying it. Because the people that you are talking to are potential members. And I have told you the equation of a Sacco is equals to members plus savings. Huyo mwanamke hata warudi nyumbani tena kuambia wale watu wenye aliambianga bwana yangu ni kujinga, kuambia sasa ujinga yake imepungua, sasa ni mzuri. Hapana, anawa avoid. If you advertise a technical hitch, just a technical, hata pengine hiyo siku ni internet. Si mara mingi internet tu inasumbua tu. Hama hata system tu yenyewe imehang. Si hata jana niliona Safaricom imesema leo kutakuwa na issue ya M-Pesa. Mliona? It's normal. But if you carry that negativity and take it outside, you reduce chances of us getting new members. Tell your neighbor, trust your Sacco. In trusting your Sacco. One, if you trust your Sacco, people will want to know why you trust it. And they will come to it. And if they come to it, the equation of a Sacco is equals to members plus savings grows. Tumeelewana? Yes. The other gains also, when we are at harmony, we have no issues. Therefore, there will be a lot of work that will be going on. We will be able to touch more lives and will be more accountable and transparent. What is very important is for us to work together as a team, remain accountable, lead us to attract what we call trust, and involving everybody in decision making. Tell your neighbor, there are come a supermarket, something had to change. Things have to change. Tunaelewana vizuri? We can grow our own Sacco by putting trust and safeguarding and protecting it. There are very many people in this country, women and men, who have stayed in marriage for over 20-25 years. When you hear them introducing their wives, say, this is my wife of 33 years. Don't always think they have lived 33 years happy. In fact, 33 years, average could be 3.3 years of happiness. But the remaining 30 were years of compromise, kutusiana, na kuishi. I'm using that analogy to prove to you that every Sacco has its challenges. You are lucky to have a Sacco that has very few challenges, by the way. If you look at the mathematics, His Excellency projected here, is a mathematics of growth, my friend. It is not even wrong to have had 640 and we have 680 or even 620, 640. 5 years down the line. It will simply mean our problems were too big that we didn't grow, as long as we didn't close down. But did you see any stagnation? That is money of its members. Saccos that boast to be big are big because the first advantage they have is they have more members. Saccos that enjoy the pain of being small enjoy that pain because they know there are few. So numbers are the equation for power of a Sacco. And I want to tell you that when you mobilize members to your Sacco, 1, we will have more members. 2, we will have more savings. 3, we will be more sustainable because we can just borrow, do our activities from within without external support. And that means even our profits at the end of the day will be higher, because borrowed support is always loaned support. And you know what that means, isn't you? And lastly, mobilization can help to educate members about the services and benefits offered by the Sacco, like you'll see what will be coming up shortly after my presentation today. So there are more gains. In fact, in one word, I'm telling you, if you are more, the level of interest, the level of the interest on loans will even be relatively lower than when you are few. Tunaelewana vizuri? Yes. Dividend payout rates will be higher for Saccos with more people than for Saccos with less people, because of what we call the economies of scale. There are obvious costs that we must incur, operational costs. So if we are more, we share in those, and therefore our profits are not touched more. Tunaelewana? And that is what reflects in dividends, in interests, in loans eventually. It is important, members, that before you begin thinking of saving your life and investing, think of growing a Sacco that can help you as a vehicle for that. So how can we then bring members on board? 1, this is my message, that 1, begin from within. Tell your neighbor, begin from within. Yes. I've been here with the chair, and the 2 of us on this table have already been converted to be members of this Sacco before end of today. That is the strategy, I think, in my view. Oh, Obama style, eh? All right, wife. So, you see, you are leaving somebody who is already asking you which Sacco. That's a customer. Ama namna gani? Yes. He told us, Peter, that they had a family strategy. The father was aggressive. The mother was organized. So the mother will pick loan for the father to do development. Today, you're seeing him with a very nice band like mine, by the way. It's because the father invested to give him power to be able to be doing what he's doing. Ama namna gani? Yes. Begin from within. Don't ignore your children. Don't ignore your wives. They are customers. Some of you here, in the village matanga ikikua, ama watoto wakifungua, in the village matanga ikikua, ama watoto wakifungua shule, huwa mnazima simu. Kwa sababu hizo requests ni mingi, hamwezi. Mnanielewa? Unatuma 2,000, 3,000, kila mtu. Those are possible potential customers. If you give them 2,000 per month, why don't you register them in your Sacco so that whatever contribution you are giving them half goes towards their monthly contributions, and wao pia waongeze, waambie sisi tunafunzanga watoto wetu kupitia kwa Sacco. You get what I'm talking about? Yes. Begin from within. Some of you are in a staff office where you are the only member of Kimisitu. I don't want to say you have failed, but if you come next time, I'll say you have failed. Begin from within. And how do you do it? You don't need to tell them, join Kimisitu. People don't hear that type of marketing anymore. You only need to correlate your growth and progress to your Sacco. Simple. Do you know how teachers ended up joining teacher Saccos? Because every time those who had joined Saccos had problems of fees, they will tell them, tulienda kwa Sacco tumeshalipa. So wale wenye hawaja join, wali join. And that's why eventually the greatest movement for those days before we took it up all over was teacher Saccos. Sini ukweli chama? Begin from within. As you live here, I tell people that when you leave a meeting like this, your first philosophy should be operation minimum double. Tell your neighbor, operation minimum double. If we are 11,000 today, we only need you to bring one person for us to be 22,000 next year at a time like now. That is not hard work. You don't need to work hard to double your Sacco by the. You only need to have members who here, facilitators like me. Hata sijawakosea watoto wetu. Simunisikie tu sasa. Ama namna gani dadi? Gotea jirani yako mwambie operation minimum double. Yes. That is, in my view, all this slide, and I'll request that you'll share material with them later, is all about beginning from within. Tumeelewana vizuri? If you do that, I can assure you, you will be able to grow your Sacco. And in doing that, definitely you will be helping your Sacco to grow. All I want to say is when you do that, we'll have more savings. We can have loan turnaround period being shorter. We can access loans within a very short time because there will be liquidity. You're getting it. We'll have money. We will have more money to take our children to school, do investments. And therefore, at the end of it all, our members will be empowered. Tell your neighbor, neighbor, mobilize members to the Sacco. Through operation minimum double. Your last role in my discussion today as a member of this Sacco to help this Sacco grow is to use your money for savings to grow your Sacco. A Sacco is equals to membership plus savings. Now what I didn't tell you earlier, I was waiting for this slide, is that the power of a Sacco is in its members, but the strength of a Sacco is in their savings. Tell your neighbor, neighbor, the power of a Sacco is in its members, but the strength of a Sacco is in their savings. We can see you just be 11,000, but if we have 11,000 committed savers, we are more powerful than a 22,000 Sacco with lukewarm savers. The focus of that equation is not on membership. The focus is on savings. Ask your neighbor, neighbor, how much do you contribute? If you answer that question, you will know why the strength of a Sacco is in savings. Members, I want to urge you this, like a pastor on a pulpit, that when you save, you are not saving that money for somebody. You are saving it for you. Today, I just learned from Peter that instead of moving around, investing in village farms, lands, buying here and left, right, center like I've been doing, I can decide to invest in my Sacco and grow my savings and leave them to my children as an inheritance. While I was just seated down here, I have never thought of it that way. And thank you so much, Peter, for that insight, that it is possible for you to just plan your life around your Sacco. Tunaelewana vizuri? Yes. Because he said he will not close his account. He will just transfer the shares to his family. that is the spirit of thinking, because this money is your money. It is your tool and it is your power. There is a very popular question people ask me when I reach here. Wananiambia, wewe hujaangalia payslip yetu ndio sababu unaongea hivyo na courage. Ungeona payslip yangu ungejua hiyo kitu hata haiwezekani. Kwa sababu hata sina kitu ya kusave. Ningetaka, I would have really wanted to save my son. But what do I save? Is there anybody like that who was asking that question silently? Yes, I have an answer for you. I tell people like this, Chairman. Thank you. I tell people like this, Chairman, that many times we go to God to ask for more money because we are ignorant that what he has already given us is enough for our needs. Reason why we are frustrated in life is because when God gives us 50, we use 50 as a stepping stone to want 100. And when God gives us 100, we use 100 as a stepping stone to admire 1,000,000. And we don't take time to look at what is this 100 doing. I want to give you an assignment today, and we will review it if God gives us grace to meet next year. I want you this evening to sit down with that pen and book that the Sacco has given you today. Before you use it to do hiyo mambo yenye mnaashia majiko, hii isikuwe sasa ya jiko. Kaa nayo jioni chini na kalamu. Write down everything that you spend your money on in a month. And it's very easy, by the way. The first time I did this, I added weight after 6 months, Chairman. Because I was so peaceful that I didn't see why I can then be so stressed by wanting more. Write down everything that consumes your money. Your bills, your expenditure in general. List. It's not a lot, by the way. You'll discover there are just 7 to 8 things for those who are working very hard. Those who are not could even be less. After you've written down, write the amounts. You get what I'm talking about? Yes. Then have another column to see the ideal and the real. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Yani andika chini, my consumption of food is 16,000. My consumption on rent is 80,000. My consumption on school fees is 20,000. I'm just giving examples. But after you've written that, begin analyzing one by one. This food, 20,000. What is this food, 20,000? When you go down into that analysis, you'll discover there are things you buy that you never use until the next budget huwa inakuja inazipata tu, because you only needed them during COVID. But now, your eating habits have changed. We've reverted back to normal life. You don't need them anymore. Let me give you examples. There are people here, I see you, who have never bought credit through airtime or M-Pesa. They buy credit through Okoa Jahazi. They Okoa da Jahazi kitambo. So when they are told today that it's expiring tomorrow, to avoid being blacklisted, they go to M-Pesa, they pay that Okoa Jahazi, and then they Okoa again. And that is them. They even have forgotten how to buy credit, because that is their lifestyle. One thing they don't know is that when you Okoa Jahazi of 250, you are given 225, not 250. They even don't know that. That means 25 bob is not given. 2, Okoa Jahazi ya 250 na Okoa Jahazi ya na credit yenye umenunua ya 250 are not the same. The logarithm of Safaricom, I can tell you the truth, has been set. Hiyo ya 250 is way less if it is Okoad than if it is bought as credit. But you don't know. You are used to easy life. I pay, I borrow again. I pay, I borrow again. Are you listening to me? If you check that, that is a source to save. There are people here, Chairman, who go to the supermarket to buy items without a budget. Wanaingia tu na wanatembea. Wanasema napigia mwili pole nisi. They say induced demand theory in entrepreneurship is what supermarkets use. They have made it so open that you will see everything you even don't know you need. So unaona ndio unaona, oh, hii juice ya cordial pineapple. Yeah, niliona kwa rafiki yangu tukiwa university. Na nilikuwa natamani na sikuwa na pesa. Wacha nipigie mwili pole. Unachukua cordial na unafika hapo mbele unaona pearl. Kuna juice you need peel and what? Yes. My roommate in school used to buy it for his girlfriend. So I always used to say, nikipata tu pesa, nitakuwa na kunywa wako tu hii juice nione ni tamu aje. Because my roommate in college used to buy for his girlfriend all the time. There is this spray, it's called Axe. My other roommate, he was a guy from this region. Alijipenda sana. He used to use that specifically. Yani hata ikiisha leo, kesho utaona hata kama ana pesa, hata inunua. So also when I finished school, I said, I have now to begin using this thing because I never used it anywhere because I didn't have the money. Induced demand, ukiingia kwa supermarket utaona hiyo viti yenye ulikuwa unaona universities zenye uko unatumia ziko hapo. Na ni pesa tu yenye uko nayo. Hata kama ni mingi, si uko nayo kwa mfuko kitambo. Yes. If you spend your money without a budget, be sure to always spend more than you have. When you go to a supermarket, Peter, what people don't know is that supermarkets don't sell things, everything that you need on budget. Ukiingia kwa supermarket, hawauzi fees. Wanauza fees hapo. Utalipa fees kwa supermarket ndio utoke. But ukishaingia uanze kuona vitu, your mentality will tell you I have the money. Not knowing that you even don't have the money to carry those things home if you finish it all. Tell your neighbor, spend your money on budget. If you write down budgets, you'll discover there is a lot of money you can save. Tunaelewana vizuri? And that can go towards your savings. I am not sending you to look for money. I will in the last slide as I conclude. For now, I'm just telling you, go to what you have and check your lifestyle and your expenditure. You'll discover there is a lot to save. There are people who go to evening places, kukaa na wazee. And the psychology of drinking, I read a paper, they say people who take beer do not need more than 2 beers to be satisfied. It is proven, there is a paper I'll even share with you, that the first beer, what it does, it quenches, I can only drink this much. And that becomes your standard and set. Tunaelewana vizuri? Yes. And you save towards your future. Because the future has more bottles to be drunk than the current. Because today you have a little per diem here, a little hustle here, you have strength. Ama namna gani? Those days under the tree, my friend, is when you will know those beers should have been saved for retirement age. Brothers and sisters, there is nothing else I would have said if I have not told you that you have a lot of sources from within to save your money. Explore them. Also, find ways to diversify your income. I tell people like this, and I'm towards my very end, I tell people like this, Chairman, that at the end of the day, a salary is not designed to make anybody rich. I have not met anyone, anywhere, who boasts of wealth courtesy of payslip. Nobody. Salaries are not designed to make people rich. I tell people also that wealth is not a function of income. Wealth is a function of expenditure. Tell your neighbor. Wealth is not a function of income. Wealth is a function of expenditure. There are people here who earn as little as 20. And there are people here who earn as high as 200. And some of you even know each other. When you meet at home or homes, your homes look different. You think the 20,000 one is the one who earns 200, and the 200 one is the one who earns 20,000. And of course, I'm saying the truth. That's why you're keeping quiet. Because truly speaking, wealth is not a function of income. Wealth is a function of expenditure. If you say you don't have what to save, it means you don't know how to save. Saving is not an easy business. If it were, there will be no need for Saccos. We will just be receiving salaries and taking our money, we put it on the mattress, and we wait, we use it until we grow old. It is not easy. That is why we need somebody else to keep that money for us. So if you think that wealth will come because, and your gifts. There are people here who have side hustles that they do for fun. In the villages, there are women who grew up, children who grew up with their grandmothers, and they know how to weave viondo, they know how kushuka watu, and they do it for free. Mtoto amefukuzwa fees, amekuja nyumbani, wamama wanatunga line awashuke. Wakingoja siku yenye baba yake atapeana pesa, harudi shule. Huyo mtoto anashuka watoto wamama for a whole week. Halafu baba yake akipata pesa ya mjengo 30 bob analipa na mtoto anarudi shule. Huyo mama, huyo mtoto, hiyo watu nye alikuwa anashuka, wangekuwa wanampea tu kila mtu 20 bob ama 30 bob, si angerudi tu shule the following day. Most of us have those things. Those days, nowadays it's become so digital. You will not, all our office desks were filled with ladies weaving things. Mnakumbuka zile mawaya mbili zenye watu walikuwa wanaenda nazo ofisi? Siku hizi zilienda wapi? Haziko. Watu sasa wataki kujituma. Wanangoja tu salary. Na kwenda TikTok na WhatsApp status wakibrief watu, wakiambia watu vile uchumi ni mbaya, vile hii serikali imeweka taxes, which is very true by the way, but then what are we saying? That by doing that you are getting income? You are not. Tell your neighbor, unaweza jituma. You can save a little money and get a dairy project where you stay. That project can take part of your bills so that your income goes towards savings. Are we together? Yes. You can do a poultry project. Some of you work in agricultural NGO farms. You know these practices, but only for the English of work. You have never tried it at home. Today, I have come to challenge you that after work, you'll have to leave your work. Choose it now. Are we together? Yes. Don't wait for old age to hear these things. You know, when you are elderly, you hear these stories, you become so guilty. Because you even think, hii kijana si angezaliwa mapema ama hii mkutano singekuwa 3 years ago ama 10 years ago. Si ni ukweli? So, don't wait for next year, lakini acha arudi akiongelea 10. Next year nitaanza. Sasa hata si mimi sitakuwa next year. Sasa mwenye atakuja hata hataongelea. Tutasema hiyo ni kama sio serious. Nilikuwa tu nimengoja. Wakiongelea tu na naanza tena. Hawataongelea. Sasa wewe tu ndiye hutaanza na wengine watakuwa wameanza. All I'm saying is that don't wait for bad times to begin being wise. Take advantage of this time that the chair has given me and the CEO through the leadership of the board to bring you insights. I am not saying that you are not doing it. I'm saying you can do even more. Are we together? And those who are doing it, it is the right thing to do. Use budgets. Write down your sources of money and let it not just be one source. Your savings, prioritize them, and your expenditure. Check your expenditure. I've given you that assignment today. Mnakumbuka? Yes, write it down. You'll discover there is money that goes to juice times 2. And you don't even need that juice. Why would we need, like for me, I have a place in my village called the Village Tree of Meditation. It's a tree my mother gave to me before she passed on. That's why I built my home. So when I go home, I sit under that tree. Now, in the evening, I only need 2 things. I either need uji mix or that juice, the one I talked about. So now, you see, if I am seated there and my guests are coming and it is my day for juice, that is what we take. Ama namna gani? Yes, it is not their day for uji. If they come on a day of uji, we will what? Uji. Because my uji is also on budget and my juice is also on budget. I don't want to tell you very many things because you are people who have gone to school. You know what I want to say, isn't you? Yeah, you just do it. Yeah, because I don't have the whole day to keep saying all those things. There are things that make us not effective. There are people here who don't even know where their money comes from. Wao wanasemanga tu niko na deal nimengoja inaingia. Deal fulani imeingia. Niko na deal imeingia. Today, sit down and write your sources of money. You'll discover there are sources that used to be your sources of money that are no longer your sources of money because you spend too much time on TikTok and WhatsApp. You get what I'm talking about? Write down your sources of money. 2, write down where your money goes. Like I've told you earlier, you'll discover there are places where your money goes that you no longer need it to go there now. There are subscriptions that you have that are no longer helping you. But you will not know until you identify where your money is going. And after you save from such ventures, direct it to your savings. So budgeting helps you in one. It will help you not to spend land. I want to build a story building. I want to pay fees for my children. And I want to pay dowry. Or I want to get married. Those are projects. Identify projects and give them a budget. Then prioritize them. You can't do them in 1 month. Some people say, wanaandika tu vizuri kasema mimi nitaifanya tu huko mwisho tu nitafanya. Hapana. Prioritize it. Say I'll get married or I'll marry in December. So that is my December project. I'll buy car in June. So that is my June project. I'll buy land in February. So you see you have February, June and December. So you begin saving from January towards February. When you finish the February project, you begin saving for June. After June, you begin saving for December. Such people, you will see progress. But some people only have recurrent budgets, Chairman. The only thing they have is food and rent and bills. And indeed they get money, they spend it on that, and it does not help them. So that is it. I have already talked to you about guarantorship. I tell people that for you to manage your money well, you must also have discipline. And I tell people the best way to get a guarantor for your loan is to recruit members into the Sacco who are your friends. If you are in this Sacco alone, then just know that you are just saving, but it will be very hard for you to access loan. Bring 2 to 3 people so that you can guarantee them and they can guarantee you. Tunaelewana vizuri? Yes. This other gospel of staff room, friends, and all these will not help. Get loyal friends, sit down, discuss, mwambie, this is what I want us to do, to join hii Sacco, tutakuwa tunasaidiana hivi na hivi. So that ikifika wakati ya loan, it is automatic. You have social capital that you can leverage on to even have you guaranteed. So a guarantor, you must know who a guarantor is. What does it mean to be a guarantor? Remember, I've told you a guarantor means if the person does not pay, you pay in full. So you understand that? Yes. So it's not a business over tea break. And all these are precautions. I just want to take you through them. Know whom you are guaranteeing. Don't just guarantee somebody because they smile at you every morning at place of work. Smiles are not a qualification for paying 2 million loan for somebody. Know them. Where do they come from? Kwao ni wapi? Who is their family? If they are married, who is their wife? Where do their children go to school? Where is their village home? Do they have anybody else they are owing that wako kwa vita hii ya magaranda na mapolisi ama ni mtu wako clean? Before you get yourself into a relationship, know all these things, and most importantly, the purpose of that loan. If you do this, you will be able to be safe. Money speaks only one language. If you save me today, I will save you tomorrow. How to encourage good saving habits? 1, be determined. 2, sacrifice. Know that loans, saving is not a kid man's business. It needs sacrifice and kujinyima. Be committed to the purpose. After setting the purpose, be committed to it. Learn from your past mistakes. Be goal-oriented. And just know, like Peter told us, that this is aimed at helping you live to your children. Borrow wisely, because it is easy to borrow, but there is a business after borrowing called paying. Don't borrow what you cannot pay. They say, if you want to get rich, you need to know how to use other people's money to get rich, not your own. So borrowing should be aimed at helping you achieve wealth. There are people who borrow to celebrate their girlfriend's grandmother's anniversary of 10 years ago, simply because the girlfriend was named after their grandmother. So now they are in love. To celebrate their grandmother, they sponsor an anniversary. Can an anniversary pay the loan? Huh? You getting what I'm talking about, my brother? That's called emotional borrowing. Yes, and it is not advised. It should be aimed at helping you create wealth. Never borrow just because you qualify or because there is a willing lender. Do it because you need it. You cannot get out of the trap of debt with the same mindset that got you there. And this one I've already talked about it at length. On investments, I've already told you the sources of investments. The slide I want to finish with. These are just suggested investment allocations. I know it will be shared with you on the material. Yes, this is what I was looking for. That investments can be earning assets like real estate, stocks, government securities, business ventures, transport and farming. Non-earning assets like household properties, upgrade clothes, cosmetics, unoccupied upcountry luxury homes, personal vehicle fleets, socio-economic purposes. So when you're looking at investment, you must always look at it this way. There are people who think this is investment. We are saying investments must be able to earn you passive income. Are we together? And these ones are what helps you. These assets generate some income on every money that is invested. These ones do not add to you any wealth or earn any income at all. So you should be wise to know which ones are to choose. But the most important thing is for you to make sure that the lessons you've picked today are going to help you somewhere. So that when we meet after this year, we are meeting to look at progress that you are able to implement. Are we together? Yes. Thank you very much for your time and concentration. I think I want to open if you have any questions, any concerns, or any comments in 2 minutes as I hand over the program to he who invited me. Any questions? Thank you very much. I think on our program we have that question answering session. I just want to say thank you very much. May the good Lord go with you as you implement what we have learned today. Asanteni.
I continue clapping for him. Continue. Inakaa Obama. Continue until he says it's enough. Oh yes, thank you. So thanks so much. I hope you're learning. Is that so? Yes. And I know there is that one specific thing that you've learned out of that presentation. You know, some of things doesn't require so much to think scientifically. It's not a rocket science. It's actually, you know, because we are in that space just to implement. That's one step forward, right? So I know we'll get there when we get to the plenary. We'll be able to have some interactions. So if you have a question, to avoid a lot of time moving the mic, you can start writing it down. Sawa. Any question that you feel you'd wish to ask, because we'll have a panel here of HODs that day. Sawa. We are not here every day. So this is a special day for you. Sacrifice as much as you can so that you can be able to have a conversation. Right? We have a conversation, you ask questions, and close together. I assure you by 2:30 we'll be done. Sawa. But having responded, having had a conversation between ourselves. So, I want at this juncture, we transition to the next item. How well do you know your Sacco? Right? How well do you know your Sacco? I want us now to touch base with the nitty-gritties. Right? With the nitty-gritties about the products that we have and various other platforms that we have, and how to easily use the platforms that we have to access the funds. Right? Because, as I said earlier, the platform that you are in, it's actually a digital platform. So it's quite important for us to know the products that we have, which button to touch, so that you can be able to get the finances that you dearly need as soon as you need it. So I want to welcome Catherine. Catherine is a credit manager. Mmekuwa mkimsikia ni anaekanga signature ya mwisho ukiuliza loan yako imefika wapi. Nasema wacha tuangalie kama imefika wapi kwa mwenye kurelease. So she'll be taking us through the presentation. And before she picks it up, I tell you my first loan I picked with Equity Bank. Ilikuwa June. That was in 2009. Nilikuwa tumepata ka job. Nilikuwa nataka kuanzisha hoteli. Ilianguka. So, contract yangu tulikuwa tunafanya na Boko. Contract yangu ilikuwa ina run from October to September. So it was in July. Nimeingia pale kwa bank fulani, sitataja jina. Wakaniambia, contract yako imebakisha miezi ngapi? 3. Ile loan tunaweza kupatia, you can only pay in 3 months. Then I went back to my colleagues and I told them, hey, man, I can't get a loan, but I want to start this business. They told me, bana, Kimisitu iko. Kimisitu, why don't you join Kimisitu? Kauliza Kimisitu ni nini? At that point, wakanielezea, I joined the Sacco, nikapatiwa loan, they guaranteed me, and that's where my journey started. So, ladies and gentlemen, clap for Catherine, who heads the credit team. So we enjoy all these good services, courtesy of the department, and she'll be taking us through the process.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Good afternoon once again. Yeah. This is an opportunity for you to know more about the Sacco processes and procedures and some of our products. And just to start us off, how many of you are members who joined this week? By show of hands. Or who joined today? By show of hands. 1. How many are prospective members in this room? They'll be members of the Sacco. And as I start, who is an individual member? This is somebody who has share capital of up to 5,000 and build the share capital up to 30,000. The Sacco share capital is 30,000, but usually give members an opportunity to say For corporate membership, as you are aware, Kimisitu opened its common bond, and right now we have corporate members and also chamas. So I know most of you are in chamas, and some of you have business, the way our key speaker, Dr. Lutso, have told us, that you can be able to bring your businesses to be members of the Sacco in their own accord. So if they join as corporate member, they'll pay 10,000 in terms of share capital and also have an opportunity to build it. Then for chamas, I know most of us are in chamas. Kindly, let's bring our chamas to Kimisitu Sacco so that you can be able to borrow and invest through the Sacco. This is building yourself as well as building your chama. Currently, we have a one-member campaign. I believe most of the members know, whereby if you bring a member, you stand a chance of winning a trip. If you recruit one member, there's usually an opportunity currently, whereby for the first one, the person who will win, it will be a draw. He'll be able to win a holiday for 2 in Dubai. The CEO had already stated that during his presentation. The second winner will get a holiday for 2 in Malindi, that is 4 nights. And the third one, holiday in Naivasha for 2 nights and 3 days. So all you have to do is to introduce a member, and they have to contribute the 5,000 share capital for you to be considered in the draw. And when somebody is filling the form or filling the application online, please ensure that they put your member number clearly so that it is easy for us to note. We've had challenges where somebody say, I introduced people but I'm not being paid. The challenge is sometimes you introduce a person, but did you follow up if they wrote your member number on the phone or on the form? Only for us to go and check later and see that it was not written. So work with your friend, ensure that all your details are also included. What is Kimisitu Sacco value proposition? The Sacco enables you to access credit in a cheap way. I can say it's cheap because it's 1% per month on reducing balance for most of our products. Whereas if you go to other financial institutions, currently, as you are aware, the banks have been increasing their interest rates, and those who took bank loans, the interests are going up. For a Sacco, as long as that loan is still running, the interest cannot be changed midway. So that gives us a better place in terms of offering credit facilities. In terms of our savings products, also you'll find that our savings products are also, the interest that we give is also competitive. So I would urge you that you take up the savings products, that is the holiday savings, and we have also the Leave to Angels and Wekeza, whereby if you have a project, you can be able to save, or if you have some money that you want to fix for a duration, you can always be able to put and you'll get some interest on it. We also offer member education, like the one that you had, we're having now. This is an opportunity to open our members' mind so that they can work through the wealth creation. Our speaker has clearly informed the members and advised you on what you need to do. The things that you feel that are gifts, maybe you don't know that it can give you some income. So this is an opportunity to look into yourself and see what is it that I can be able to offer that can give me some income and that can help you to create some wealth and also some savings. The Sacco also gives returns to members in terms of their deposits and also on share capital. This is the dividends and the interest on deposits that usually give every year at the end of the financial period. So the more you save towards your share capital, the more you get. And the more you save towards your deposits, also the more you get. And also take loans, because you have members who are not taking loans. Kimisitu Sacco is one of the Saccos where we have money and people. So through these social plays, you can also be able to build your networks. And also in doing that, you can work together. You can start an investment chama and hence grow. Our main loan products, as you can see, we have Makawalisi. Most of us want a place that we call our own. And through Makawalisi, you can be able to construct a house, can be able to buy even an apartment, and we give up to 7 times of your deposits. The repayment period is also long. We give up to 12 years for residential and 180, that is 15 years for commercial. So I would urge you, the interest is just 1% per month, and in terms of the limit currently it's at 30 million. I would urge you, our members, kindly come, let's work together. We have Kimisitu personal loan. This is a FOSA product, whereby if your salary is passing through the FOSA, you can be able to get this product. It happens after your salary has passed through the FOSA 2 times. That means that if today you change your salary point to the FOSA, after 2 months you qualify for a Kimisitu personal loan. The interest is 1.5%, and it does not look at your BOSA deposits. So it means that even if you joined today and you change your salary point to Kimisitu Sacco after 2 months, you can be able to discuss how much you'll qualify for. The repayment period is 5 months, 60 months. Then we have the premier loan. Like we have members who have taken loans in banks, and right now they are feeling that financial strain. So we usually ask them to come take a premier loan. Maybe they also have Sacco loans. You find that you have so many small loans. So we consolidate all your loans through premier loan, where we give up to 5 times of your deposits and an interest of 1.3%. It's a little bit higher because it means consolidation of all loans, but it's still cheaper than other financial institutions, I can assure you. The repayment period is 84 months. So I welcome you. If you have so many loans, you have loans in different situations, my advice would be for you to feel a little bit free, come to Kimisitu and take a premier loan. The interest that you are paying the banks, as you've been told by Mr. Akama, that it won't go to your pocket, it will go to the shareholders of the bank. So make sure that your interest is paid to Kimisitu Sacco, and this will lead to the growth of the Sacco. We have the development loan, which is up to times 4 of the deposits. The interest rate is 1% up to end of June, whereby the repayment period is 72 months. So kindly come and take this product during this period. Then we also have the more Kimisitu, Kimisitu. How many of you have partaken this product? By show of hands. Only yeah, most of us, you'll find that we take the Mshwari. Kindly, before you take these other loans, please, this is your own. Any interest that you pay towards this loan will come back to you. So let's partake our products. So this is a small video.
Do you know you can now apply for salary advance loan from our Kimisitu Money app? Here are the steps. Log into the mobile app, select mobile loans menu in the home screen.
It's a small video on salary advance, so kindly let's listen.
Drop-down list. Enter the loan amount. Press request button. Pop-up screen to accept loan with loan summary. Loan is disbursed to FOSA account and deducted. Thank you for choosing Kimisitu Sacco, your partner to prosperity.
Thank you. The salary advance loan, you can only partake if your salary is passing through the FOSA. So I urge you, kindly, Kimisitu Sacco should be your financial institution of choice, the one and only. So instead of your salary passing through the bank, let it pass through the Sacco. On FOSA services, the services that are offered by FOSA, we have the salary advance, the instant salary processing. There's no charges in this processing of salaries. Access to salary advances and Kimisitu personal loans. Access to business and chama loans. at competitive rates. And you can also transact at your convenience with the Kimisitu Money app. So it's quite convenient at your home, at your work, wherever you are, you can be able to transact. We also give Kimisitu Sacco branded debit cards. So that means that you can go to an ATM and withdraw your cash. In terms of utility payments, you can also pay for your lights. You can also buy airtime through the same. In terms of mobile registration and PIN resets, this can also be done through the app. So I would urge you, those who have not installed the Kimisitu app, their phones, if you have a smartphone, kindly install it. Then you are going to go to the credit management processes, knowing that Kimisitu Sacco is a savings and credit. And some of the members join in order to access credit. So this is the core function of the Sacco, whereby the Sacco allows you to apply loans. You can apply online through the portal. You can also apply through the mobile app. And through the portal, it's just a matter of logging in into the web portal. Then you'll select the online loan app. Then click application. You can either choose short-term or long-term. Thereafter, you'll be able to click on the guarantors and put the member number, and immediately you can submit your loan for processing. So it's looking for guarantors with forms. It's just a phone call to ask them, will you guarantee me? Then you put their member number. After that, they'll guarantee you, and you'll submit the application and we'll process it. Our processes are also quick. Within 8 hours, the loan will be in your FOSA. If there are any issues, you also usually communicate to the member if there are additional requirements that is needed. So the processes, because majority of our members still don't know about these processes, what a member needs to do is submit the document, submit the title deed copy or the logbook copy, whereby we'll send a Sacco registered to either increase through guarantorship, getting guarantors, or even self-guaranteeing yourself. Then you can proceed and apply. Thereafter, it is processed and approved. If it's a motor vehicle, it has to have a tracking. This is just for our own and also your own security, so that in event something happens, maybe it is stolen, you know where it is. And also in terms of, in case you don't pay, can always also track you, because not everybody's, there are people who come and take loans, but they don't have good intention. So the Sacco must protect itself by ensuring that that motor vehicle is tracked. The process takes around 7 or less days because you find that we have to coordinate with the vendor. If you are purchasing the vehicle, we have to coordinate with them. You have to get an undertaking. They have to provide the documentation, so that through that we are able to pay. In terms of land title deed, the land must be charged to the Sacco. It means after it is valued, it is processed, approved, then it must be charged. This is done by the Sacco lawyer, whereby they have to register it in the land ministry. The process takes between 1 to 3 months, depending on the land registry. Like Nairobi had been hectic due to the digitalization that was going on. So it usually depends with the land registry, so it can be short. But we also usually talk to our lawyers. If they've done all the due diligence and confirmed everything is okay, within 2 weeks they can give us a go-ahead to disburse the funds as they continue with the process. So in terms of land, the land that you can be able to offer as collateral, it must be in an area where at least there are 2 commercial banks. We believe that a place where has commercial banks is a place which is economically viable, and that is why that is there. For undeveloped land, because this we changed just recently, when we realized that there are members who are giving us land with the intention of not paying the loan so that we sell it for them. So we put this caveat that it must be within 5 kilometers radius of town. especially the small towns, not like Kisumu City or, yeah. So 80% of the market value. And in terms of undeveloped property, 70%. If you are buying, 80%. For other county headquarters, with at least, if it's an agricultural land that has a building in it, it will be 60%. If it is not developed, 50%. Then the Sacco also introduced chattels. These are movable assets. Like now we had members who are saying that my vehicle is over 8 years old. How can I use it to secure my loan? So we brought it about as chattel, whereby if you have a vehicle that is over 8 years old up to 15 years old, can be able to use it to take a loan. But this loan must be payable within 24 months. And the loan itself should not exceed 1 million, because of the fact that the security in terms of disposing it can be a challenge. But at least it gives a member an opportunity. If you need an emergency, you can always use your vehicle that you have. Or if you have plant and equipments, like we have people who have tractors, farm equipments, these ones can also be used as chattels. Then makawalisi can be used to purchase land, can use it to construct a residential or commercial building. Maybe you have a plot you want to build so that you can get some income. You can also buy a ready building or an apartment. $500,000, maximum 30 million. We are giving multiplier of 7% of the deposits that you have. And in terms of security, that particular land will act as the security for the loan. The interest rate is just 1% on reducing balance. So some of the steps in accessing it, there is valuation, whereby it must be valued. There is also the legal fees. There is usually the valuation fee that must be paid by the member. There is the legal fee. Also, if it's construction, the Sacco appoints a project manager who visits and inspects the property as it's being built. Because in terms of construction, we usually disburse in 3 batches. So after we've given you the first batch, we'll send a project manager to go and confirm that indeed the building has started and it's at the stage that it's supposed to be. The property must be insured. Then in terms of the loan, it must be insured against death or permanent disability, so that in case anything happens, the Sacco will not take the property from your next of kins, but the insurance will be able to pay it. So all costs are usually charged to the member, but upon the completion of the loan, except the valuation, usually ask if you can be able to pay the valuation earlier.
Sacco, thanks to the Makao Halisi product, we now own our dream home.
Thank you. That is a testimonial from our member who is happy that she took Makao Halisi and now she has her dream home. Then the matters of loan in arrears. As you know that in terms of credit, we give loans, and again we have to follow up that these loans are paid. Because if you don't pay them, that will be the end of your Sacco. So just to explain to you what is an arrears, I know there are instances where you get communication, text messages, emails from our debt recovery team. If you miss an installment, it means that that loan is in arrears. If you miss 3 months, that loan is in default. It means that the entire loan now is due. I know there are some instances somebody has not paid 3 months, so we say that the loan is due, and they say no, but it was supposed to be paid in 72 months. Let me tell you that if you miss 3 installments, that loan, the entire loan now becomes due. So what happens upon default? Maybe I'll start upon arrears. If you miss an installment for 1 month, usually send an SMS or email informing you that you're in arrears of this much. If the following month you haven't paid, we'll send a communication and copy the guarantors so that they're in the picture, that the loan that was given, which they are co-guarantor, as had been explained. When you guarantee a loan, it means that you are a co-owner of that loan. If anything is happening to that loan, if it's not being repaid, you also have a responsibility to know. So we copy the guarantors so that they know that this person whom you had guaranteed has not paid for 2 months. So the third month, if there's no payment, we write to the member and tell them that they haven't paid. And we'll give them 7 days to give us a repayment plan, and the guarantors will be in copy. So if they don't communicate back, it means that now we have to come to you and ask you, as the guarantor, what are you going to do about it? Because you are the co-owner of the loan. So what is the role of a guarantor? The Sacco has ensured that we have a portal whereby you can be able to monitor those that you guarantee, the loans that you guaranteed. How do you monitor? When you check the last payment date for somebody that you guaranteed, if you go to the portal, you see, I've guaranteed so and so. Loan last paid this date. You'll see if it is showing if the loan is under watch or substandard. We have members who are very observant. So when they see something amiss, they'll call immediately and say that so and so is no longer in employment, and I've seen that he's already missed an installment. That is even the first, because if you miss an installment, 30 days, on the 31st day, the loan goes to watch. So it means that there are people who, even before we send the communication, they're already informing us. And when a guarantor informs us early, maybe the person left employment, they've been given terminal benefits, they still have money, and at that point, through the Sacco aggressive follow-up, we can be able to recover some amounts. So the role of the guarantor is to ensure that the loans that we guaranteed are paid. These people are your friends, you work with them, you know them. So we expect that as a guarantor, you'll also keep us in touch in anything happening to somebody that you guaranteed. I know we've had people coming to say that, I want to be replaced, I don't want to be a guarantor of so-and-so. The Sacco cannot replace you, because when you are guaranteeing each other, you are the two of you, the Sacco was not there. So the Sacco cannot remove a guarantor without a replacement, and usually go back and tell you that, to go tell your friend to provide a replacement. So you need to know that guarantorship is like a blank check. That means you are saying that if this person doesn't pay, I will pay. So at the point of default, when the defaulter is not communicating, so we go to the guarantor. And when you go to the guarantor, we ask the guarantor, how are you going to pay this loan? Do we remove from your deposits? Are you going to take a guarantor liability loan? Because the Sacco has given that opportunity, whereby you can be able to take a loan and you pay it. Most people prefer guarantor liability because maybe after 3-4 months, this guy was their friend and they know that they'll be employed, maybe they lost employment, and after that they can always come back and pay the loan. And the Sacco is always also ready when somebody gets a job, especially for members who communicate to us. Even at the point when we are sending communication, we have people who come, we have meetings with them and the guarantors, and we agree on the way forward. But when there is silence, that is where trouble now begins, because it means that now it's the guarantors who must take the liability. So we give guarantors the opportunity to either pay this loan in installments or to lose their deposits. So in case that person gets a job, then he continues to pay the loan. So the Sacco is always ready to discuss with the members and the guarantors, because I can tell you we are all potential defaulters. But how we act upon default is what is important. That is what will determine whether we are good or bad, because things happen in life. But when you approach the Sacco and say, okay, this and this has happened, how can you help me? The Sacco is always ready to discuss with you. So in terms of the remedies offered, the Sacco currently has a debt recovery team, both internal and external, who follow up, especially if somebody is working and has just refused to pay. Because we've had members who just refuse to pay. Maybe somebody says that I also paid for someone, so let others pay for me. We have people who are arrogant like that. So if the guarantors inform us where they are, we have a team that visit them at their workplaces, and we talk to the HR so that the payments can be done through check-off. This is for unresponsive defaulters, but the ones who are responsive usually get a way out on how to deal with the matter. We also have external debt collectors. That is for people who, we've looked for them, we can't trace them. But maybe he left employment, he left the town, he was working in Kisumu, maybe he left, he's no longer here. So we have external debt collectors who also do investigation and trace the defaulters. So those are some of the remedies, but you can only go far if you work with the guarantors. If the guarantors work with us, mostly the guarantors also turn to the Sacco. Instead of talking to the Sacco now, you also start complaining, oh, the Sacco has taken my deposit, the Sacco this. Instead of us working together to see how we can be able to go about it. So it's very, very important that we journey together. As you are aware, Kimisitu Sacco has a Kimisitu Insurance Agency. This is to meet our members' needs. And through the partnerships that the Sacco, now we have the Kimisitu Investment Company, and now we have the Kimisitu Insurance Company. And in terms of that, we have partners in insurances where we've negotiated rates, which are very competitive compared to others. And note that when we insure through the Kimisitu Insurance Agency, any income that is earned will come back to you. Instead of using other agencies outside there, kindly use your own. In terms of the products, they are customized to suit your needs. And also in terms of follow-up of claims, the Sacco, the Kimisitu Insurance will ensure that they follow up the claim for you, give you technical advice, and also give you just that peace of mind. The Sacco also has an insurance product whereby maybe you want to purchase premium and you don't have the money, can always give you a loan for the same and you pay within 9 months. We also have free training on insurance products. If you feel that your organization needs to get that, just inform us. We'll send one of our insurance agents to come and update you, train you on the insurance. They also are organized for medical checkups, and also in terms of the premiums, they are negotiated for your own good. So you can see in terms of insurance, it gives you security, and you feel the safety, and you have that confidence that you are protected, and in case you need help, you're always there to assist you. So thank you. I'll give our ICT manager an opportunity to take you through this next presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Catherine. So now to invite our ICT manager. Huyu ndiye anatutumia ile message ya downtime. Right? Nataka kumwambia uptime inafaa kuwa 101%. Sindio? Yes, let him take us through the Kimisitu digital space and customer service. Henry.
Thank you. Thank you, Vice Chair. So this is the only presentation where you get rewarded. So I would request that we pay attention. I'll take maximum of 10 minutes just to highlight what we are doing in the digital space. How many were not here last year when we had this function? Okay. So that would mean we're either new members or you did not get a chance to attend last year. That makes it even better for me. So as Kimisitu, we have our operations online. That means you apply for your loan today, you want to register as a new member, I'm talking to the high table here, you will just do it online. We have a portal where you'll be able to upload all the documents that are required, and you'll be able to get registered and get information when your application has been accepted at the Sacco. So the member portal is where you are able to get your reports, your member statement. You are able to get it anytime you need. So we empower you so that you are able to check your savings anytime. So I want to believe the representative of the county government, you must be in one of the Saccos. But I want to be very sure that you do not have such services in that Sacco. So our chair will be onboarding you today, and you will be doing all that you want to do with the Sacco from your office. You will be able to do transactions on your mobile. That is, we have USSD, and we also have the mobile application, both available in Android and iOS. iOS for Kisumu. Of course, our members from Kisumu will be using iOS. So you are covered. iOS, that is iPhone, for iPhone users. So we have a number of things that you're able to do on those platforms. We'll be doing that in the next slide. And my colleague also talked about the visa, about SIM swap. Someone calling you and telling you, working from Safaricom, your line has an issue. You will not need to get the money to your M-Pesa and then to their M-Pesa. You just do it through the account transfer. I'll skip the second option and the transfer to M-Pesa as well. But one big thing also is that you're able to do PesaLink, RTGS, EFT on the mobile phone. So once you apply for your 20, call anyone to transfer funds to your KCB or Coop Bank. You're able to do it. Mike, I want to know what she did, how much she did.
Yeah. Yes. I've transferred 500 shillings to share capital.
Oh, what message do you have? The Kimisitu one confirms that the funds she transferred is already in her account at Kimisitu. Move from you ends up coming back to the Sacco. But then again, is the convenience that we need. It makes the Sacco do
unexpected that will help in the real estate matters. And in the year 2010, they came up with Kimisitu Investments. So when I see that we have so many members that are not shareholders, of course, it's an area that we need to look at, and we bring this investment to Kisumu, of which I believe will be in the offices that are housing Kimisitu Sacco soon, and that means we'll be here to recruit most of you, or all of you, to join Kimisitu. You can become a shareholder. Recently, each share was Kenya shillings, 18 shillings and 25 cents. Current share, so we will be coming to Kisumu and other areas, and also those who are shareholders of Kimisitu Investments. Tari said very clearly that Kimisitu Sacco will have to make money so that will come down to you as a shareholder or a member, because Kimisitu Sacco earns dividends from Kimisitu Investment. So for one to become a Kimisitu Sacco member, a Kimisitu shareholder, investment shareholder, you have to be a Sacco member. That means it's fully owned by Kimisitu Sacco members. Also, we deal with land. Basically, that's what we have done most, although some time back we did some housing, and we partnered with someone else, and we did the housing. But so far, we have not built our own houses. We're in land projects. So far, we have done 32 projects in different places. That's in Nakuru, in Machakos, Kajiado, and all those places. And we have been planning to come to Kisumu. I know that's an area that I've spoken to most of you. You have shown interest, but so far We have had hitches as we continue to search for land. We get to a certain point when we are doing due diligence, an issue comes up. So that's an area that we are looking at, and actually we are working with some of the directors, even Kimisitu Sacco directors, so that they can help us to be able to get these pieces of land. And I know most of you, like I've taken a note, we are ready to do what? You are ready to buy these lands. So we are ready to work, and we will be here. You can buy shares directly, or you can buy shares from a member, from another shareholder that wants to download some of their shares. So that one you have to make an agreement with that person. It doesn't have to be 18 shillings and 25 cents, like I said. You can agree on the amount. You can have the shares held jointly. You can buy with someone else, like they said. You as a member of Kimisitu, you have left your spouse at home. They have not joined. But for us, you can have the, if you have joined the Sacco, both of you, you can also come and buy the shares jointly. We pay dividends at the end of the year, and the minimum has been 6%. When we look back at the COVID issues and all this, business has not been so good, and that's why we came down to 6%. What are the objectives of Kimisitu Sacco? This is to tap into the real estate and capital investment markets. This is to help us also get genuine products for our members. Basically, our main clients are Kimisitu Sacco members. So when we go out and do the due diligence, we have you in mind, so that we do not do what we have been seeing being done around, that we are buying land that is actually not there. We do genuine real estate products, and if we look at our prices, actually if we look at, let's say, for some of you who have the brochures that I've given out, we have some land in Athi River, which is 1.5 million. But when you look around that area, you find most of our competitors are selling that land at 1.7 or 1.8 million. So we're actually giving our members land at cheaper prices, at very good prices. We have done some land in Kitengela, where we have added some value to the land, where we built a perimeter wall and we do the boreholes. So actually, when we sell land, we sell it as a gated community, so that when you go in, later on you don't just find that there are flats coming up where you wanted to build yourself a residential place. So so that's a very competitive price. We have some more in Ostrich Farm, that's Mbuni Gardens next to Ostrich Farm, and we have some more in Red Pine Ngelani. Red Pine Ngelani is behind Katani, which is going for 950K. How do you purchase this land? Like they have described here, you get loans from the Sacco. The Sacco works with us. Like now, when you look up here, you realize we use Makawalisi. You can use the personal loans, and most of the Sacco members have used these loans to get their land. And actually, the Sacco has been helping us a lot. It has come in handy when it comes to that. They are ready to work with you so that you can get the land in the shortest time possible. And also, we can use our titles as collateral so that you can get some more land with us. Okay, some other projects we have are in Koma, that's Kangundo Road, which are going for 740,000. As much as we have a few left, we would like you to consider them. We have upcoming projects. Like I said, we have had issues with Kisumu, and They are working on getting a project in Kisumu. For the last few years, actually, they have tried as much as they could, and there's something in progress. We are looking at Kakamega. We are also looking at Kiambu, all these places. So we don't want to get stuck just in Nairobi or in the area surrounding Nairobi. We want to come out here, just like most of you have showed interest. We will be here very soon. And how do you pay for this land? We have cash option where you pay cash, of which it will be a little bit cheaper. We have 3 months, 6 months, and 9 months. We can work with you. You know, this is your investment. This is your company. So when you tell us to do something, actually, we listen to you. So I just want to ask you, for those who we have shared the number with, you have the brochures, you have our contacts, you can reach out to us so that we can deliver the land to you. Thank you so much.
Asante sana. So we can give him a loud of clap again. Asante sana. So someone said, don't wait to buy and wait. That is on matters land investment and speculations. So I want to invite the Bliss Medical. It's Bliss Medical Center. Right, perfect. So as we invite Bliss Medical Center, we are going to have a panel of 7 participants here, and then they are going to respond to our questions. I hope you're writing down your questions because we want to start ASAP. Sawa sawa. I want to apologize that we have extended the time. We wanted to finish at 1, but we are moving to 2:30 because we started at 10:30 and we had intentions of starting exactly at 9. So we are working backwards, but I want to assure you that by 2:30 we'll be finishing. So we'll have the chair person, the CEO, the ICT manager, the credit manager, our 2 guests. Then we'll have KICL as well in the panel to respond to the questions appertaining KICL. Please.
Guys, you can check your BP outside there, and also you can also check your sugars, and there is a free optical screening. Once you are outside there, kindly mkiwa hapa ndani mnaweza pita huko nje pia mpate matibabu. My name is Maxwell. I'm the charge of business development here in Kisumu. Bliss centers, we have one at Mega Plaza under the ground, and then there is Almiran 2nd floor, and there is Medicross. It's at Kachok Mega City for the residents of Kisumu who knows Kisumu very well. We are offering a range of services down there at Mega Plaza town here. There is a CT scan machine, X-ray machine, consultation, that is for consultants clinic. You can also get there the services, and also optical services. Dental also is there. Same to Almiran, same to Kachok Medicross. Medicross is part of Bliss. It's branded Medicross. It was a different company but was bought by Bliss. So kindly pass there mkiwa hapa. It's free screening. Consultation also is there. There is a doctor there. Mnaweza jadiliana, then atawasaidia. We were to give you a mental health talk, but we feel that time has gone. We can't give you the talk for now, but you can consult outside there. Otherwise, thank you and feel welcomed.
So thanks so much Police Medical Center. So kuna mtu alikuwa na swali anataka kuuliza kwa mdomo. Najua some people sometimes expressing themselves is far much easier when they speak out than writing. So we want to give the opportunity to everyone to ask questions.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Daniel Owino, member number 019938. I have a question on interest on deposit. How is this calculated? Do you clear checks that are paid to by the suppliers through FOSA? Thank you.
All right, thank you. So, right. So I want to welcome one of my directors. Right, I'm coming for them so that I can be able to pick maswali from within. I want to welcome BA to help me coordinate this. We work with BA in the same committee. He's a very vibrant person, and I'm privileged to have you in my committee. So help me coordinate the session. Na karibu sana. Asante. Shika uendelee na mic, mimi nichukue maswali. Asante.
Good afternoon, members. Good afternoon once again. As the Vice Chair has said, my name is Bernard Ayeko, famous. I'm happy to be here, and I will run this session, as the Vice Chairman has said, very fast and in the interest of time. But after we finish the session, directors and members of staff will be around here. Please feel free to talk to us directly about any issue of your concern. And we look forward to meeting you at the SGM. I'm sure this has been talked about. Thank you so much. So we'll pick the questions. Those who want to talk will have 3 opportunities. I think we've picked from Owino, right? Yeah. And that was a question on how our interest rates are calculated and the check clearing system. Our manager in credit is here. She will add her voice. The second person to talk, please. Anyone who wants to? Okay, thank you.
We've gone there and there is no response. What do you do? That's the first question. The second one is concerning customer care desk. Why is it taking long when you are calling to get the response? Is it, I don't know if there is any solution for that. We should get it from here today. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Those are quite interesting questions. Owino, you want to add something? Okay. I'll consider this as still question 1.
This goes to the CEO. What we are concerned about the staffing at our Kisumu office. Many times we've gone there, we find 1 or 2. Can we do something about the staffing?
Thank you, Owino. I pick the last question from the floor, then we go to the panel for responses. Anyone? A lady preferably? For purpose of gender balance. Okay, I don't see a hand from a lady. Anyone? Oh, thank you, thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Mabel Isombi Mukabwa. I'm asking the question about sometimes you are sending money for T-Post and then you forget to put TEP. Immediately you call and then, like myself, I have to call to Hayeka from Ikolomani. So I don't know if you can just help us if we have made some mistake and then we call faster immediately. If you can help us instead of we can send to you. Thank you.
Okay, my list, and I'll start off with our credit manager. Thank you.
For dividends loan. And there's a person who have also said that the dividends is in their FOSA account and they don't know how to access it. You can be able to access it through the channels that had been stated, *503#. So if you still have challenges, we are here. We can be able to assist you after the meeting. Then there's a question, how long does it take for me to qualify for a loan? If you've been a member for 3 months, you qualify for a loan, Karibu loan. Times 4 of your deposit, depending on the facility that you want. If you want Makawalisi, after 6 months, can be able to qualify and get times 7. Then when should, this is dividends. Then someone have asked about LPO financing for entrepreneurs who get LPOs through competitive bids. Is there a possibility of LPO financing? Okay, this is something that we are pursuing and having a trade finance product, so it's still work in progress as of now. There's a question on Chama loans. Somebody is interested to know how it works and the requirement. The Chama loan, you'll join as a Chama, whereby you'll contribute together. Then you'll be putting money on monthly basis to your Chama account. Then after 6 months, you qualify for a loan. So this loan, it can be guaranteed. It can also be secured through a collateral. You can be able to invest. Maybe you want to build a house or buy a matatu as a Chama, so that it goes towards an investment and the economic activity, so that it is able to pay itself. So our advice to Chamas, you'll find that our team usually visits Chamas and advise them, so that the loan is not taken just to be divided among the members, but taken to do to be invested in an economic activity. So for these other ones, you can always take the loan as an individual. Then there is a question. There are instances when international activities need recognized bank statements. Can Kimisitu FOSA be recognized in such international settings? The questions that, yes, we have had members who want to go abroad and we're able to give them statements and even write letters to embassies. So that is possible. Even as of now, even the BOSA statement that you have. So that is yes. But we have checks for FOSA, key in post-dating payments. Yes, our FOSA, we have checks. We usually give bankers checks. So if you need checks, you can always contact us. We had to have checkbooks for the members, but that is also something that is in the process. However, for now, you can be able to use the other channels that we had been told about during the presentation. The third question is, if guarantor is taking responsibility of the money loaned, why are we having a cost attached to credit chasers? Very interesting. A cost is attached, yes, but know that you know this guy more than the credit chaser. Like now when you are guaranteeing somebody, I don't know this person the way as much as you know. Maybe I could know where the person is working. But as a guarantor, in as much as the person filled the form elsewhere, so he's unable to pay. So through the guarantor also giving us that information, it makes it easier for the credit team to chase. And note that in terms of the debt recovery team, they also paid on commission. So, is real. Why do you think talking to Western Region members about KIC in those sites will make us happy with none? It's not very clear. Is it KIC? Kimisitu investment? Okay, maybe you'll take that question. Then I have a lot.
I can welcome Henry to explain to our member here the disadvantage of ICT. You know?
You did not need to remember the keyword at all. You also did not need to remember the pay bill, which you are used to. So for you to do it very easily, I actually used the USSD. Oh, okay. Wow. USSD kwa Kiswahili sasa. Kwa urahisi ukitutumia USSD *503#, unaweza kulipa loan, unaweza kutuma pesa kwa deposits bila kuhitaji the keyword hiyo DEP yenye ulisema. So wale members wawili waliweza kutuma pesa kwa Sacco, hata hawakuuliza pay bill ni gani ama keyword kutuma kwa deposit ama share capital ni gani. Hawakuhitaji the keyword because you just select deposit ama share capital. The rest is the system to do. System ndio ilipost ile pesa na akapata message. So that is, hiyo ndio njia rahisi ya kutumia pesa kwa Sacco ama kutoa pia USSD *503#, utaweza pia kutoa. Ndio njia rahisi. Alafu USSD *503 inaweza tumika kwa simu yoyote, whether smartphone ama hiyo simu ya sijui wanahitaji ako kasimu kadogo, bado unaweza tumia hiyo mulika mwizi hiyo, bado unaweza tumia kufanya transactions. Na the steps zenye ziko pale tumezifanya zikawa fupi na rahisi. Sikumbuki wakati wote Safaricom wametengeza mkutano ya kutrain watu bila ya kutoa pesa ama kutuma. Unajifanyia tu mwenyewe. So ndio tunajaribu pia kufanya ikuwe fupi na ikuwe rahisi kwa yote kutumia. So I'll go to the in the very short term. Thank you. I think I'll give it to someone else.
Yes, yeah, I think we can pass it, but tunaweza chukua tu ile maswali muhimu, kama ni matatu muhimu, alafu mwingine achukue matatu muhimu, ndipo tuwe kumaliza kwa masaa ambayo tunatarajiwa kumaliza saa 8:30, si ndio? Alafu yale yatabaki tutajibu in form of question and answers, na tuwatumie wote ambao mmekuja leo, kwa sababu tuna imani kwamba maandika pale barua pepe zenu, si ndio? Asante.
Okay, I'll respond to at least 3. Kuna swali ya makao halisi na Kimisitu investment difference. Makao halisi ni product ya loan. Kimisitu investment is a company. And through Kimisitu investment, the partnership, mtu anaweza nunua plot na baada ajenge makao halisi, achukue loan ya makao halisi anunue nayo hiyo plot. Achukue loan ya makao halisi a construct from the plot. So that is the difference between KICL.
Thank you, Catherine and Director Bernard. There's a question that came in terms of stamping for Kisumu office. We learned that the office is covering the whole of Western region. That is close to over 7 or 6 counties. So it is something, it's a discussion that we are having at the board level in terms of how we can optimize the team that we have here, and also looking also at the business side. So it's something that is the pipeline. We've taken note of it, and we see how best we can actually be able to handle it as soon as possible. There was a member who had an issue where if she has a problem with he or she has a problem with the account, and the person, the account holder, the person in charge of the account is not supportive or not assisting him or her, is there a higher office that I can seek help from? Talk to the credit after this session. Thank you.
Okay, a member asked about he said regionalization is real. What do you think talking to Western region members about KIC, PLC in those sites will make us happy with non-actualized promises of Kisumu projects? I'm here to say that with the current leadership there before, that's where we have not been able to do.
Maybe just to close on this, there was a member who was asking that this is a marketing opportunity for Bliss, and how are they paying Kimisitu in return, plus any other organizations given such opportunity. What I will actually say is, one, board them and have all of their staff being our members, and you can see what that will actually translate to. Thank you.
And did you get a loan? Yes, you can be able to take a boosting facility, and the boosting facility will charge interest of 5%. Then in terms of guarantor liability loan, the interest, there's no interest charge on guarantor liability loan. So the repayment period is based on the loan, remaining period for that particular loan. However, if the guarantor feels that he will not be in a position, there is usually room for discussion. So in case that defaulter pays back, yes, the amount is refunded back to the guarantor. Thank you.
So we match the boosting to $1 million, boosting of $1 million. If you have 500, we can give you 500, and then we give you the multiplier. Thank you.
Thank you. There was a question around the delegate system versus the General Assembly system. Everybody has an opportunity to be there to contribute. But when we grow, like I said in one of my slides, that when we were a kiosk, we were thinking like a kiosk. When we become a super, it looked like most of us, if not all, are new. So if there were any decisions that were made or proposed in the previous meeting, they don't have an opportunity to be here today to see if their concerns have been factored in or not. Those are the dynamics of a General Assembly. If we had a delegate system, there will be people here who will be very deliberate to ensure that what was discussed in the previous meeting, word for word, point for point, has been achieved. And there are also other gains. Apart from consistency, we have issues implement. And lastly, likely to be familiar with the issues and concerns of the members on the ground. So when they come, like we don't know today, we are here, chair, and maybe there is a certain fraction of membership that has missed because of a certain particular matter. Maybe they're in a workshop somewhere, or maybe they are not just there. Their views will not be heard, and we will not know. But if we have delegates, we will be able to have somebody knowing what is happening and which issues will. And in my view, I will conclude by saying that membership of what we have now and the membership of what we are targeting, we cannot run away from the conversation of transiting to a delegate system. But I know the chair will want to add a word before the chief officer answers his question.
Thank you, Daktari. I know this has been a very hot issue about the delegates, and the last time as a board when we brought it to the AGM, it was shut down even before it was mentioned. Sometimes they say you listen to those who have gone through the same process and learn from them. Saccos are democratically controlled. And any decision to go to delegates or remain as members, general membership, is all dependent on us members to make that decision. However, we as the board, and even, these are people who have been in this system for a long time. They have interacted with several Saccos. They can only give us the information. What are the benefits? But I also look at the delegate system as more of a devolved governance system. Because like Dr. said, if we had delegates, then even doing member education would even be to very smaller groups of people. It's easier to follow up, It's easier to monitor things are happening at the regional level because there's a delegate who again has to report to the general, the board, to the delegates meeting. It's easier to hold somebody responsible than holding 9 directors. I know mostly here, we know each directors. Some of you know me, some of you know 2 of us, some of you know 9 of us. So you try to hold 9 of us accountable, or 1 of us. But then remember, everybody within the whole country and even the diaspora has to hold us accountable. So having the devolved governance, from what we have gone through, from what we have shared, from what we've learned from our peers, it seems to be the best way to go, but it all depends on us members. Until that time, we feel we have to move to manage this supermarket as a supermarket and not as a kiosk, like Dr. said. It's us who will make that decision. But for now, let's listen to the education, to some of the ideas that are coming from not just the board, the external. Our new member is our new member, by the way. So at least we have one new member who will be pushing for the delegate system. Thank you. Let me give the CC, then I will summarize. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Could the chief officer assist with enrolling the border chairmans, join Kimisitu Sacco? The answer is yes. When that need arises, I will. Why not? These are our people and they are suffering wherever they are right now. The reason why I'm saying that, we registered the one border Sacco, the one I told you for Milimani. In 2 years, they were able to buy a Toyota Noah. Right? Again, Toyota Noah only served for 9 months and it was again disposed. And the Sacco went under. Meaning, there are people who are ripe, ready to save. It's only that they need an organization, a straightforward organization which can manage their resources and give them the benefits. So definitely, member asking the plan that the board and the management have for Kisumu office staffing. I want to throw this back to us as members on all that we've discussed here. You know, the first step that the board has done is to put up that office. But remember, in business, there are things that you look at in terms of what is the operations of that business. So right now we have an office in Kisumu, and it is us members who have to let us know the necessity of expanding that office more, or even shrinking it, or even closing it. If we have an office that's not utilized fully by the members, then remember it will not be very useful. If it's not actually meeting the demands or the reasons why it was set up, it's not meeting that, then it makes no sense to have that office. But I believe, like we have said, there's a lot of potential. So let's go out there. We know where the office is. It's in Reinsurance Plaza, first or second floor. You know that building also, sometimes you don't know where first and second is underground. Yeah, but I'm told it's in the first floor. If you come through the side of Mega Plaza, then I think it's second floor. But if you are from up here, it's actually ground floor. So let's make use of that office. But more importantly, let's make sure we mobilize, we recruit members who will actually keep that office running. That is the point when we will see the need for expansion. That is the point when the board will even see the need of having a branch. You know, right now it's just an office, a FOSA branch, depending on the demands.
bring the demands. The demand is what will bring in the staff, will bring in the expansion and all that. In terms of KICL, again, I know this has also been a hot issue. KICL is our daughter, which was born out of Kimisitu. 100% except one corporate member, which is Kimisitu Sacco. 100% of the other members are actually members of Kimisitu Sacco. And therefore, it's usually very difficult to separate between KICL and Kimisitu Sacco. But those are totally two different entities. What we're doing right now, trying to tighten the partnership. And very soon, we are looking at how members can even buy plots where KICL will be the support that meeting. Is it true? Bodies. We don't want to be left behind. Remember the last 2 years, we brought in a budget line called on that table. And I can assure you, there is one that is coming up now. That is the Sacco Society, Sacco Depository. Saccos will have more of their clearing house and shared services. We are actually on the table. And when that happens, trust me, you will not ask us as members of a question. It means you will help the Sacco meet the regulations, the SASRA requirements in terms of core capital, and actually you will be part of the accelerated growth. So don't fear putting more than 30. And for those, my last one will be on escalating communication. And members, one will be on escalating communication. And members, I want to make sure that the system is working. But if they are not working, I also want to assure you that CEO's office is a public addresses where you can still escalate this to the CEO's email, to the credit manager's email if it's credit, issue about credit, to the ICT manager's email if it's something about ICT, so that it's responded to. Otherwise, we will be doing nothing if your issues are not being responded to and we sit there being the board together with the management, not serving your needs. Otherwise, I know we've responded to questions here, but one thing I also know that questions never end. I want to extend this and tell you, whenever you have any question, hata ufike nyumbani leo and you feel like asking a question which you forgot to ask, send that question to the customer care email. You can even copy the chairperson's email. I know you have more than one emails. You can reach out to us directly. We'll respond to you, because that is the reason why you elected us, to go and support you, to make sure that we meet your needs. Thank you so much. And I don't want to give back this mic before I invite you to the SGM that will be physical on 27th. That's next Saturday. We will be having our SGM in Nairobi. All of you are invited. And because we are the people who have to make the decision, don't be left out. Make sure you're on that table. We have the budget. The reason we have the SGM is because as members including me, we did not approve the budget. So that's one of the key county offices. Let's make good use of that. And thank you so much. Tell the governor, hata yeye tumemwalika, he needs to be a member. And if the county government also does not have a strong circle, even if they have, allow us to come in and recruit them. You have been impressed by where we are. That's where we are. Actually, next time will be more than where we are today. So tell them that they are well welcomed. Thank you, Daktari. I know there's somebody who is going to do the vote of thanks. For me, up to that, allow me just to say thank you and allow us now to sit back.
Chair, just a second. The CEO and the credit manager have asked me to give 5 seconds to respond to an issue. So,
One question asked by
I mean, by let's deal with this in 30 seconds, 30 seconds, then we give some a minute, and then we conclude.
Okay, the issue here is Kimisitu offset default, whereby the Sacco has recovered from your deposits, and the member is saying that how come they are not able to access Kimisitu again, and it has been repaid through their deposits. So you'll find that once you default Kimisitu and your deposits have been offset, you have to refund back because your deposits have covered other guaranteed loans, you've guaranteed other people. We've also taken times off your deposits. So you'll find that you'll be blacklisted until you pay back. So it's not that Kimisitu has been cleared. No, it's just been taken from your deposit, but you'll find that you're blacklisted. But the Sacco still gives you an opportunity to come and take a long-term loan so that you can be able to pay off that Kimisitu. So this is also an avenue that you can be able to use. Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon all. Just echoing on the last sentiment. If we don't attend and pass a budget, come next year, we won't be having a sitting like this one because they won't be having a budget to conduct such like a sitting. Even the AGM, we won't have it. We are here today because we passed a budget in 2022 AGM. So for 2024, we don't have. So we are being requested, we kindly attend the SGM so that we can pass a budget for 2024, both for AGM and even the activities that are taking place like the one we are having today. Thank you all.
as they sit down, I think cannot overemphasize some. What some is that there's a member who had asked about the next member education day in Kisumu, and so what Sam has said has actually preempted the response. So we are requesting you to come for the SGM. Please listen through the deliberations and give us an opportunity to serve you by approving the budget. So the date for next year's member education day in Western Kenya will be announced at the right time. We have a keen interest in ensuring that we cover the whole country with these member education days. I'm sure someone already said how we were in Mombasa last week to do the same activity for the coastal region members. So thank you for that. Lastly, I would like to say that we are still here. If the member whom we have not responded to their questions sufficiently.
So that is very strong by ourselves, and that is what makes us not walk confidently and even be able to make good savings. So that was good, and he also emphasized the need for us to see far, to be wise as the ant, isn't it? Yes, so that is very key. We need to go and look at that story and pick some lessons from that. So thank you very much, and pass our greetings to the county. And next, I want to thank our speaker of today, Dr. Felix Ruther, and our new member, Congratulations for joining Kimisitu family. So Mr. Ruta is a financial trainer, business mentor, strategy, policy and capacity building specialist. And he's also the lead trainer for Cusco. Why am I saying this? We also have individual businesses which we are also funding from what we are getting from the Sacco, isn't it? So we can also get some counsel of the Sacco is dependent on the members. So we should actually feel very encouraged and make our Sacco strong, isn't it? Are you promising that you'll make our Sacco strong? Thank you. I also picked another lesson that a Sacco strength is as good as the savings of its members, isn't it? So all those things are linked up. So let's take those words very seriously as we go to our various destinations. So next, I want to also thank our directors, my fellow directors, who found time to come for this activity and to take the leadership role. I think it's very important when you see the captains on the lead, isn't it? Yes, so led by our able chair, Mr. Chris Agunga, we want to thank you very much. Now next is our very able management team who have been very key in ensuring that this event is meticulously planned and executed. And I think the numbers that we have seen here can tell it all, isn't it? Yes, they have done a good job, and it's good to appreciate others when they do a good job. And I know they have been visiting your organizations throughout the week. Please, we have also been challenged. I remember the chief officer also challenged us to be #1 ambassadors. We are taking that home also to be the ambassadors. So I think you've had discussions with them as they visited the organizations. Now, I also want to thank, we have also taken advantage. So thank you so much, our partners, for also taking time to be with our members. Now, next, I also want to thank now KICL, our partners. We can't also forget you, that you're also going to enable our members to be owners of properties, and properties that we can also use as collaterals in the future. So I think we also would wish to thank them at this juncture. So again, I want to thank now finally our hosts, the Tomboya College. I think we've enjoyed this environment, the room, the service behind there was good. So asanteni sana. So for now, I wish to invite Director Jotham to lead us in a word of prayer. Thank you very much, and see you during the SGM.
Team. Sorry for that. We come before thee this afternoon, Lord, to thank you for the wonderful day that, Lord, you gave us. A wonderful day that we've had here in Kisumu, and even the week as we are walking around to talk to your people, Father. It is a moment of celebration and enjoying as we grow and learn, Lord, as members of Kimisitu Sacco. Father God, I want to pray for each and every member who have attended this event, that whatever we've learned here, Lord, is partner in their life, Father. Father God, I want to also thank you for the trainers that we've had, the knowledge that they've given us, and even us as directors, Lord, as we are talking to our members, Father. Father God, I pray for the Kimisitu as an organization that we can move to the heights that we dream to be at, Father. Father God, as we travel safely and enjoy with our families that we left behind, Father. Father God, I also ask you, Lord, that you give us good health, you give us good strength and good dreams, Lord, for our life. Father, I ask you this, trusting and believing in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen. And may we all together join in the grace of Jesus Christ and the love of God and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with us now and forevermore. Amen. Thank you.